Test. Okay, we're good now. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for hanging with me. And let's see, that first comment was Craig. It didn't show up here, but I think that's the newest one. Yeah, 22:33. Yeah, that's it. All right, I was gone for about 30 minutes. I rested my legs and brain, and I ate some chips and dip. I'm almost done with my Monster. And now we're ready, okay? And here's what I've got done. I told Jill she can go ahead and head home. What I've done is I've got this set up where I can toggle for part 2 here between my phone and the GoPro. So there's my phone. That's me holding my phone. There's the GoPro. And if I want to show posters, then I just want to use my hands. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to show stuff that I can sell with my own hands. And then when we do more posters, I'll just bring them back here to the table like any other sale. Okay? So we'll do that. Hopefully everybody hung with me. I said 15 minutes. It turned into a half hour. But I think I needed a half hour after what I just did. So if you didn't see my post, incredible night of selling. And we didn't really get into some stuff that I wanted to get into. But we might get into it right now. So absolutely incredible night of selling. A lot more still to be had. A lot more still to do. Lots more stones we could overturn, unturn, etc., etc. Might have to give everybody weird time for me to be starting the feed up. But yeah, we've Tanner. I finally got. I've been using my camera for my phone, or my phone for my camera. So I didn't get to check messages for 7 hours. And Seth's supposed to be here at 5 a.m. to help us get started with all this. And Tanner told Seth, he said, Seth, no joke, Chad has sold 75% of our store. And it's empty. Our shelving is empty. The cabinets are empty. And the only reason the other ones are full is because I didn't get to them. If I had more time, we could have probably emptied that one out. And the reason that rack over there is full is because my mic wouldn't reach. So, yep. No table. Yeah, that might be a problem. But you're working this way down from that table, right? So that binder's the last kind of non-poster item. I can just bring stuff up there because I'm going to try to walk through here again and maybe try to show some stuff. And, what I did last time when I was by myself, I'll just set it off to the side and then I'll take it over there as I get accumulation built up. Because I can remember and keep it in order. Yeah, we didn't get to any knives. We'll try to get more posters. There's some up here, but like I said, if we get into posters, I'll literally have to go to the back camera. But that might be best because I'm very limited with one hand without any help. And Jill was willing to stay, but I told her, I was like, you don't want to hang with me because I might be here till, you never know about me. We catch a second wind here, we might be here all night. So that case is pretty much bare, and I didn't really get to go through this one. And I think some people would buy some stuff. There's some stuff I guessed prices on. I've been trying to get people to make offers. We sold all these. These were full of posters. We sold all those. These are all sold. All this stuff is sold. And we're about to sell a lot more. I'm going to make sure everybody's back on. We didn't go through any comics. Just not enough time. I mean, I started at 4 o'clock and 7 hours, and this is the damage we did, and there's still more damage to be had. All right, so let's go pick some stuff out. Let's start showing some stuff over here. Let me take a drink of Monster. Monster. That was my snack. Ranch dip and chips is what I had. Like Ruffles. That's pretty good stuff. I'm going to turn off this air conditioning because it's gotten cold outside. And now, you know, and everything. Listen how loud this is too. Let's cut that off. Cut it off and turn it up. All right, so let's start somewhere. Let's start, let's see here. Maybe start with some cassettes, CDs, knives. What else do we got? Posters. That's only posters. All these posters here are $14.99. Okay? These are all $14.99. Godzilla, Alien, Back to the Future, Batman, Beetlejuice, Jelly Roll, The Bride of Frankenstein, Stevie Nicks. I've got Fleetwood Mac Rumors, Frankenstein, Elvis Presley, Pokemon, Pulp choking on a chip crumb. Pulp Fiction, Radiohead, Silence of the Lambs, Star Wars. I can't believe we didn't sell a Star Wars Japanese. Velvet Underground and Nico. The Warriors. These are all $15. Zelda. Marilyn Monroe. Thor. And 2001 A Space Oddity. All these over here are sold. Oh, holy moly. Boy, I don't know what just happened to me. I got attacked. And then over here we got the Mona Lisa, and that is the original, painted by Da Vinci. That's the real, a master copy. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! My childhood right there. 2001 Space Oddity. We got the Rolling Stones. We got Queen and Clockwork Orange. All those are $15, $14.99 to be exact, to the penny, even though they don't make pennies anymore. There's no more pennies. No more pennies. And yeah, all these are $15, yeah. So, I mean, what I've probably shot myself in the foot a few times tonight, because I have sold a lot of posters and stuff that's going to be separate shipping. I've really messed up a couple times, but that's okay. It's hopefully all going to come out in the wash. But Thomas Clark wants a Star Wars poster. And Thomas Clark's bought a bunch, and he's picking up, I think. And Thomas asked for us to keep these in the boards and bags. So let's read through those one more time. And all those behind the counter are posters, too, that are $15. I got Chuck. I told you. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Over here, Jim B wants a Pokemon. Jim B's going to take advantage, because I know this is going to be the only poster he buys, and now we're going to have to ship this separately, and Jim B knows that. He's rubbing his hands together. He's like, I got him. Okay, and then over here, so let's do this. Okay, so over here, this is sold to Jim B. All right, and then James Hicks wants the Rolling Stones. You want the Fingers logo, or I mean the tongue and what is that called? That's a mouth. That's a mouth with lips. So that is sold up there to James Hicks. I'll have to get a ladder here in a minute and jump off of it like I'm in WWF. No, I'll climb up there, set the belt, and for you know how they used to do those matches, and I'd climb up the ladders. Yeah, I'll get that for you. Okay. And then Adam Bernardi, there is another Star Wars. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So let's flip through these. I'll put that in the front. And yeah, these posters are $14.99. Let's start round two. What I might do is if I need rolled posters to show with two hands, we'll go back there to my regular setup and show posters. But I kind of like staying mobile. I'm about to run through some toys over here too, okay? We got all night long. And this starts a new invoice. So you won't get billed for this stuff until 7 days from now, next Monday. So anything you out, anything else you buy this week, $8 limit shipping. So any pre-orders, anything you buy this week is $8 limit shipping, okay? One more flip through these. I got Godzilla. I got Alien. I got Back to the Future. I got Batman. Beetlejuice. These are all $14.99. Jelly Roll. Bride of Frankenstein. Stevie Nicks. Fleetwood Mac. Frankenstein. Elvis, Pokemon, Pulp Fiction, Radiohead, Silence of the Lambs, Velvet Underground, The Warriors, Zelda, Marilyn Monroe, Thor, and 2001 Space Odyssey. I'm going to try zooming into my normal. I like this wide view, but I'm going to try zooming in to my normal camera. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Whoops, that's me. Dang it. Okay, that's my normal camera look. Y'all let me know what you like, zoom or wide. I know y'all don't like the view with me on the front. I know y'all don't like that view. That's an ugly view. That's an ugly view. Elvis is right here, Regina. It looks like him in his army outfit. Right here. Heading out, Jill. I need a hug. Thanks for helping me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Shout out to everybody that's helped me tonight. All right.
I love you.
Be careful. And I'll see you Thursday for Thanksgiving. Well, I'll probably see you here at the store.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm off tomorrow. I'll be here Tuesday.
Okay. Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm off.
Off Wednesday. Okay.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
Okay. I'll be here. I'll see you then, and then I'll see you at the house Thursday to eat food. Okay? All right. Wide view better. Okay? So we got a view of a zoom. We have a view. We got a vote for zoom and a vote for wide. Okay? And there's that. All right. Let's walk over here and see what's going on next. I think I was going to run down. I'm going to try to pay attention to the stuff over here that I didn't get to spend enough time on. So I'm going to go to the part of the store. And I'm going to show you some stuff that I've had for a long time that's high caliber, great merchandise, but we just haven't made a deal. So I've got these original Star Wars figures with the cards. Obi-Wan 70, Han Solo 115, Darth Vader 125, R5-D4 65, Death Squad Commander 65, Death Star Droid 75, Sand People 90, Snaggletooth 55, and a Power Droid for 70. So those are still available, and man, I would love to sell them or make somebody a bundle deal. That'd be quite a bit of money. I mean, we're talking 70, 115, 125, 90, 75, 65, 65. That's going to add up quick, but this is Solo complete. And there's the card that went with it. Okay. And he's $115. All right, so we still got that. That is a small head Solo, I believe. Yes. Okay. And let's work this way down. We already did some of that stuff over here. Let's start over here. And we have Spawn, Dark Ages. That was $14.99. Here's McFarlane Monsters. That was Sea Creature, $49.99. These are all bought now or best offer. There's Batman, the Penguin Duck. And that one was marked $8.95. Shadowhawk from Spawn, $14.99. Mutant X is $19.99. Something behind that, but it's kind of hard for me to get to. There's a Superman figure, Man of Steel. Superman Man of Steel, $14.99. Susie called me handsome. Well, dang. Whew. Hadn't had a compliment like that in a while. Ashaka Tano. That is Star Wars The Mandalorian. And Ashoka. What did I say? $14.99. And then there's Luke Skywalker for $9.99. There is Orlando Calrissian, you know who I'm talking about. And he is $9.99. Got some cool Funkos here. I have, first thing I have is Justice League of America for $217. That's $29.99. The Joker is $29.99. And Batman, Classic Comics #1, Batman $34.99. Okay. All right, wide angle. That's what everybody was telling me earlier. If I stay with the, whoops, that's my flash. If I stay with this, it doesn't not as shaky. Okay, we'll see. We'll keep it with the way it went well with the wide. So Batman 34, Joker, Batman Joker, and there's some DC stuff. Superman, Dragon Ball Z, Great Ape Goku. That's $29.99. The classic Teen Titans. That is $99.99. Looking for best offer on that. The classic Teen Titans. Melody Madness. I don't know what this is, but it's $19.99. Melody Madness. The Wonderful World of Disney trivia game. It's in this big metal film canister. $24.99 for the Disney trivia game. For all of you Disney buyers. Mortal Kombat Cabal. Mortal Kombat's $19.99. So Mortal Kombat, Pop, Groku, Justice League. Let me kick these DVDs underneath the table. Does anybody want a random box of DVDs? No picking, no choosing. And then Paul Brothers on the Titans. I was hoping, Paul, you were watching. That's why I was going through all these toys. He is, and that's sold to him for $75. So what I'm going to do, whoever's tagging, I'm going to start a new row of merch here. That was from a previous time. This starts the new pile here, so we can tag stuff over here behind me. The Kiss Wagon, $45. Let's sell that to Phil Elliott. I've been waiting for somebody to make an offer on the Kiss Wagon for about 2.5 years, and you got it for $45. Kiss Wagon is sold for $45 to Phil Elliott. What about the Star Wars game? The Wicket the Ewok, $99, their best offer. Look, I've had this first of next year. I've had this 4 years. So if this is around 2 more months, I've had that for 4 years. Y'all know me. I don't keep stuff that nowhere near that long. That's just such a cool item. Some cool items like Ewok Star Wars board games, I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to sell this. It's too cool. So I'll hold on to it a lot longer than normal. Hey, that Funko I just walked by, that big Funko, it's still available. That's sold to Phil Elliott. This is Star Wars Luke Skywalker. This is a Gigantator Funko. And this is with that original movie poster. That is $64.99. That's a cool Funko there. And that's a big one. That's about, 4 times taller than a normal size one. All this stuff is sold, by the way. All that stuff is sold, by the way. And what's up with this globe? This globe isn't sold. I didn't sell a globe tonight. Does somebody want to buy a globe? How much is this globe? That, in case you didn't know, is Earth. That is planet Earth. That's where we're at. Okay. We're right there. Some of y'all are over here. Some of y'all are up there. And there's a couple of y'all like over here right now. But how much is this? How much is this? I like this. I'm going to say vintage globe. I'm going to say $55. I don't see globes too often. They don't use those in school like they used to, eh? $55 on that. Okay, and then over here, so Kiss Wagon, $45. And then Great Score, still on the wagon. Wicket Game, $40. And then Wicket Game, $40. Bob Panozniak. Sold Bob Panozniak, $40 on the Wicket Game. Let's go over there and get that out. And then 20 says 20 on Blue Castle. 20 on Blue Castle. Susie, what is Blue Castle? This is Thanksgiving. This is Black Friday week, begins tonight, because we're not going to be here. I'll be here on Black Friday, but as y'all know, a lot of Black Friday stuff starts on Thursday or earlier this week. So I'm trying to jump the game and make sure we're ahead of everybody on Black Friday stuff. So that's sold. And don't let me forget to get to the comics tonight too. Okay. And hopefully some of y'all are just chilling out late. I know a lot of people's already on breaks and vacations. And she said 20 for the Blue Castle. So Susie said $20 on the Blue Castle. Okay, if you can let me know what that is, I will sell it to you. $20 on Blue Castle. I don't know what that is. Okay, so here's some more toys. Let's just read these off. Mortal Kombat 2. Shad Khan, $29.99 on that. And then Dragon Ball Z, Poor Ugana, I think. There's another Dragon Ball Z Funko, $39.99 for that one. Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl. This is $44.99. That's a cool one. Wonder Woman and, $54.99. That's been here for a while, $54.99. And then we have Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Star Wars is $14.95. Shadows of the Empire, $14.95 for Swoop. And then this is a Nerf gun. A Nerf gun for $8.99. And then we got Magician of Black Chaos, Tom Hagen, Yami Yugi. We got we got Godfather Funkos. We got Michael with after he got his eye blacked by the police chief. There's Tom Hagen. There's Fredo down in Cuba or out in Vegas. There's Jimmy Neutron, Shea Brennan from 1883, Jimmy Neutron. Here's some Target exclusives. That's Thor and Captain America. And so there's that. I've showed most of the toys here on the wall. And there's Captain America. And how much is Captain America? $44.99. That's a good one. And there's Loki. He's $24.99. That's a cool carded Captain America there. $44.99. What's up with Spider-Man? Amazing Spider-Man 210. $74.99. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham, issue number 1, CGC 9.2, that's $64.99. The Simpsons Air Freshener, there's another James Bond, Johnny Lightning. I've already sold one of those, okay? Let's see what else is going over here. Wonder Woman is right here. This is sold for $39 to Paul Brothers. You got it. All right, let's start that. Actually, let me not put this heavy Kiss. Let me not put this heavy Kiss ceramic thing on top of that platter. I'm going to set that there, that there. All right, then let's balance that out. That should balance pretty good right there. All right, there's that. All right, so I've gone through those. Boy, I would love to make somebody an action figure bundle like everything on this wall, because some of these have been up here for a while. I don't know if anybody wants to get that crazy. I have a price in mind per unit of every carded figure back here on this wall. Just like every carded figure, and it goes to one buyer. I have a price in mind. I might count them first. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, counting the Hot Wheel, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Just counting figures, 26, 27, 28, and cars, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I think 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. That'll get us close. There's 47 carded items on this back wall. Now, I didn't count comics. I didn't count that Funko. Just on literally a hang tab. 48 carded items there. And my bundle price for that would be $7 per unit. $7 per unit. Whoops. So $7 if somebody bought all the carded stuff. That's even for the $45 ones, the $50 ones, the $15 ones. And I was going to get my calculator, which I left in this showcase. 50 times 7, 490. So they'll get it close. That's how I round up to do quick math like that to get it ballparked. So 48 times 7. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. 48 times 7. 336. I was off. What did I say the first time? That's why I use a calculator. $336. That's sold to Paul Brothers. You got it. And he picks up. What a great price. I had a feeling somebody would jump on that. So what I'm going to do is say everything on this wall that's carded is sold. Every carded item. And let's go through that again while I'm on a wide view. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. I counted 47 that time. But you know what you're getting. Everything carded. The only thing not counted was that Funko and the comics. And that thing there, that Chesterfield ad. So I don't think I counted Homer. I bet there's 2 of them I can't see. I'm standing far back. Yeah, there's 2 Titans. I don't think I counted Titan twice. All right, so all those sold to Paul. So the price, though, was $336. That's the bundle price. Give or take 1 or 2 carded items, but that should be pretty dang close. You get to see them right there. They'll all be in the bundle. Okay? So those are all sold to Paul. Thank you. Now, there was something else over here. Any signed stuff. I do have some stuff over here. And then DVD bundle. Yeah, I've been trying to sell these DVDs and CDs in a bundle for a while. I'm just going to leave all that up here. I don't have time right now to take all that down. Thank you, Paul Brothers. And then Life Magazine. This is a good one. This is Life Magazine, May 11th, 1972, $49.99. $49.99. That's David Cassidy. For some reason, that's always been a pricey one. $49.99. I kind of want to do an accurate count, make sure we know exactly how many Paul's getting. The price is $336. I'm okay with that, but I want to count these one more time so he knows and I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, Shoop, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Paul, I'm pretty sure there is 47, okay? All right, there's that. All right, that's what I counted the second time. And then the other question is DVDs. So yeah, I've got tubs down here of DVDs. So we sell them $2 in our store. After we kind of show them live and we let people look through them. A lot of them, and some of these are still sealed, like Born, and we put them out in the store for $2. Now, obviously, there's a lot down here. Them all in here. This is part of $8 shipping too. 75 cents each. Okay, 75 cents each. We would just have to count them. The bundle deal for all these DVDs. There's 4 tubs down here. That's the movie they did. 75 cents. The Dictator. I've seen some clips of that. Hey, I was just watching clips this morning. That's amazing. I was just watching clips of that movie Flight. But yeah, that would be the bundle price. So I don't know how many. God, there's a lot back here though. There's a lot in this tub. Exact count, I'd have to come back and stack. But hey, there's Blu-rays in here too. Is Blu-ray? Blu-ray and DVD. John Wick. I mean, there's good stuff. But that's bundle price. A lot of stuff sealed. Great Escape. That's Steve McQueen movie. Stand-Up Guy. It's not junk, you know. Nicolas Cage there. Sealed. All right, so there's that. What is next? So we've gone through that table. We basically just sold the Chesterfield ad. All right, Chesterfield is, who is this? Jesse L. Tripp. No, that's Kirk Douglas. That's Jesse Tripp. That's Kirk Douglas. That's out of an old magazine. I'm going to say $6.99 on that. Kirk Douglas Chesterfield ad. $6.99 on that. We're just working our way down. Okay, here's another potential bundle deal. So these are all prints. Okay, so let me see what's left over here. I hadn't really flipped through this rack in a long time. So Rolling Stone magazines. Okay, if you see something you want right now, let me know. Rolling Stone magazine, Rolling Stone $4.99. This is the Chaplin. Sinatra, $19.99. My bad. I misunderstood what you were talking about. He said Life magazine. I see what you're talking about now. That's $19.99 with Frank Sinatra and Frank Sinatra Jr. Uncle Green, $4.99. Weekend magazine with the Beatles, $2.99. Liverpool Days, that's the Max Scheller and Esther Kircher, who was a Beatles photographer. This is a store display for the Beatles or George Harrison, you know, like a record divider. That's an original item that would to a record bin. $5 on that. Blinds and shutters. I think that's like informational about a book. Here's a Tuesday Weld. $18.99 for the Tuesday Weld cover. There's Yvette Minimix for $19.99. I don't think I said her name right. Burton is Hamilton, $17.99. This is a movie-related item here at $14.99. And then my mic might be out of sync. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is why this stuff is still available over here in the corner, because people are having trouble hearing me. If there's anything left for sale in this building, it's because my mic won't reach and people can't hear me. And then there's Barry Goldwater for $14.99. So sorry. The Rolling Stone magazine was $49.99. The one with Cassidy on the cover. Yeah, with David Cassidy. $49.99 on that. Okay? Yeah, I might need to get two different parts. What I was going to do is I was going to offer, except for these, I bet we can sell some. I've got Elvis prints here. This is two different popular designs. I'll show you the first one. These are $11.99. So that's a picture of Elvis, $11.99 for Elvis, and $11.99 for Elvis. And then over here, I've got other pictures of Elvis. I've got Elvis with guitar. I got Elvis, I call that the comeback special. Elvis with guitar number 2, just portrait of Elvis, and Elvis with guitar. And I just dropped them. Luckily, they're in boards and bags, and they didn't land on their corners. So, the 2 Rolling Stones next to David Cassidy. Oh, these. Okay, so yeah, these are Rolling Stones 40th anniversary. It just says 40th anniversary, 2007, and 40th anniversary with a different cover. I think those are different cover variants when they did a 40th anniversary special issue. Michael Rudolph offered $35 for David Cassidy. This is sold to Michael Rudolph for $35. Michael, thank you. That's sold to you. Alrighty. And then, let's see, Crossfire Hurricane, $4. I'm going to try to show as much stuff as we can here, and then I'm just going to try to do some kind of bundle for all this paper material. There's that. Here's a original Saturday Evening Post of JFK. JFK assassination, still an unsolved mystery. I'll do that for $10. So that one came out in the 70s. Yeah, 1975. Really cool one there. Saturday Evening Post, $9.99 for Kennedy. So what this stuff is, the reason I was going to bundle it, these are like inserts from like where a guy collected promotional stuff. I'm going to put it all over here, all this Beatles stuff. See, songs by George Harrison too. It's like promotional stuff for like when books came out. He collected all this stuff, just FYI. And then Adam Bernardi gets JFK for $7. Nice pickup there. The anniversary of his assassination was 2 days ago, by the way. And then how much are 2 Rolling Stones? They're $4.99 each, or I'll do $7 for both of them. $7 for both of them, Cynthia. There's Elvis pictures. Yeah, here's more promotional stuff. Crossfire Hurricane, Rolling Stones photos by Bruce Gruen. Okay, and then here is something. Yeah, I'm going to put all this together so we can bundle all this maybe in a second. I'm talking about everything on the rack. I'm going to make sure there's nothing else crazy expensive left, even in the Life. Don't hesitate to make offers on these Life magazines either, okay? We are here to make deals. This stuff is about to be closed out anyway. So over here, Cynthia Herdman was first on the Stones. Those are sold to her for $7 and $7. Sorry, John. She had first dibs on those. And John was next. Okay. Let's see here. So there's another one of those George Harrison store dividers. This one's still in the envelope. All right, that one's still in the envelope. There's the Beatles mag. Let me get some of this condensed. Then we might do a big paper lot. But if you see something now, I would grab it. New York Times magazine or New York Times paper with the Beatles, the Fab Four, special cover edition, New York Times newspaper with Beatles, $9.99. Now, that's obviously something later. That's not a 60s. That's probably an anniversary. Yeah, 40 years ago. So that was the 40th anniversary of Beatlemania. Okay. 75, the Zapruder film. That's right. He was on, what, Geraldo or something? Here's pretty cool. This is original sheet music. Poncho and Lefty. $4.99 on Poncho and Lefty. And then over here is some kind of old print thing from Fred. That's $3. I am holding the camera, yes. We're up front part of the store. What is $2.99 here? Sunday Magazine with the Beatles. Beatlemania or Beatle Madness? That one's $2.99. Okay. And then here are some photos from Fred's collection. Yeah, these are all $5 a piece. Wolfman Jack. These are original press photos. There's Buddy Knox. The Bell Sisters. These are like press photos. Some of them old. Some of them reproduction. The Mills Brothers. Guy Mitchell. We had from Serenade. That's a press photo from the movie Serenade. There's Jerry Butler. These are just press photos. The Ponytails. Very cool there. There's the Beach Boys. Right behind them is Dave Clark 5, maybe. The Pass. There is a press photo from the band's Last Waltz. That's an original press photo from the band Last Waltz, which is Clapton, Emmylou, Ron Wood, and Neil Diamond. There's a picture of Robbie Robertson from the band. There's another press photo of Rick Nelson. Here is Neil Sedaka. These are all $5. There is another one from the band's Last Waltz featuring Neil Young and Muddy Waters there on that one as well. Dick Clark, maybe. Rick Nelson Fan Club. And then we had Bo Diddley. And this is from another movie here, Let the Good Times Roll. That's Chubby Checker. There is from Let the Good Times Roll Again. And then this is press photo from The Last Waltz. A lot of stuff here. You get what I'm saying. Because if no one's interested in some of these, I'm about to make them a bundle, okay? So there's an idea on those. And then over here, we have Man's Illustrated. Man's Illustrated magazine, $12.99. Cool cover. Here's another Rolling Stone, 25th anniversary. That one's $4.99. Another Rolling Stone. Billboard magazine with the Rocket Man advertisement, and on the cover is Paul McCartney, if you can see him underneath that. That one's also $4.99. Okay. Gary Lewis and the Playboys. Thank you, Derek Clark, for helping me identify that one. She wants the band Les Waltz, the band Les Waltz photo. That was right in here. I got that. That was the one with like some of the press markings on the front of it. Let me see if I can find that now. That will be the challenge. Okay. Don't forget I get it in the back and sell the rest of the platter packs too. That's been the thing of the night, platter packs. Okay. That has been the thing of the night. What happened to it? Question now is where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Should be right here. Right here, right there, right here, right there, right here, right there, right here, right there, right here, right there. There it is. Okay, and this is sold. This sold to Mary Miles for $4.99. Okay, and then next over here, so Cynthia gets this one right here, and then What Is the Life on the bottom right. That one over here is Mideast Unhinged, the Israeli Onslaught. That one's just $6.99 with a little cover damage. Okay. Grand Ole Opry Saturday Nights, $14.99 for Grand Ole Opry Saturday Nights. The V22 Offspring Inside Look, $12.99. When Music Died, John Lennon cover, $19.99. Keith Richards Musician Magazine, $6.99. Trouser Press Magazine, Rolling Stones, $19.99. Ron Wood Canvas, Every Picture Tells a Story. That's more promotional stuff for those books. I'm going to put all these over here. Okay. And then Sully wants The Last Waltz with 4 picks, $5. Are you talking about this one here? Is that right, Sully? That's sold to him for $5. Okay. And then next thing over here, the Lennon Time magazine. Let's move that up so I can see it a little bit better. When Music Died, that was 1980. December 22nd, 1980. So that's not too long after. Not too long at all. Okay. And then there's a few more over here. Nature Loop. The Natchez Trace, $4.99. $4.99 on the Story Stars and Stripes. This is cool. This is Silver Screen Magazine with Kennedy and Jacqueline. Or Jackie and John. Summer of Love, People Magazine, 1987, $6.99. Tribute to John Lennon, $6.99. There's some more John Lennon and music-related magazines. This is a press kit for the Arena, some kind of press campaign booklet, $14.99 on that. Okay, and then Time Magazine back here. This is sold for $12. Where did I do with that one? Oh, I'll put it over here. This is sold for $12, and that's sold for $12 to Adam Bernardi. Thank you on that. And the last thing down here was, this is a book. This is something to do with Third Man Records. Third Man Records Vault. Dead Weather book photo that went, I think, in a box, $34.99. And Cisco Kid, Duncan Ronaldo as the Cisco Kid, and that's $4.99. All right, so everything except these Elvis prints. I'm even going to take all these press photos and put them over here. I'm about to make a bundle for this paper lot. Like all this, there's a word they use for that. Ephemera. It starts with an E. I don't know if I use it too much in a sentence on a daily basis, but it's paper stuff. We got everything from press photos to magazines to promotional items to booklets to old pamphlets from a state park, newspapers, magazines. Y'all see what's right here. And the Elvis prints I'm going to sell individually still for $11.99. I've got Elvis playing a guitar. I've got Elvis playing his guitar. I got Elvis playing guitar. I got Portrait of Elvis. I got Comeback Elvis again there. And we got 4 of those. So your 4 options. I've got 1, 1, 2, and 4, $11.99 each. Okay. F for my Cynthia bought the magazine. Oh, did she? Cynthia. Oh, Cynthia. Well, I shot myself in the foot over $8. She was going to buy it at full price. Adam, Cynthia was first on the Time magazine. Boy, that cost me $8. Adam, you owe me $8. Cynthia, she was first, okay? And then Leslie wants to see the book on the Natchez Trace. I think that's what this was right here. And it looks like it's the Nature Loop. It looks like it's a vintage 70s era like nature informational pamphlet from the Natchez Trace. $4.99. Cynthia got the Linen magazine for $19.99. Okay? And they're new prints. Yeah, those are all new prints. Yeah, those are all from Fred's collection. Those are new prints. Okay? Let me see if he was first. Let me go back up to the front. Time, Linen. Oh, he was first asking the date. Maybe that's what I thought. Yeah, y'all were, he trumps that. What's the date? Then Cynthia claimed it, then he made an offer. Yeah, he trumped it on the date. He definitely trumped it. Yeah, maybe that's why I did sell it to him. Y'all are playing mind games with me, no pun intended. Okay, mind games, no pun intended. This is, yeah, Adam Bernardi was first. He asked the date, then Cynthia claimed it, then he made an offer. But, yeah, so my bad. He does get it. Let's change that again. So sorry to Adam again, and sorry to Cynthia. He was first. I think, well, we sold a whole box. Where else do I have stuff like that? I've got stuff like that around here somewhere. More magazines like that. Okay, Boxel wants one. First of all, Leslie wants this for $4.99. That's so to Leslie. Okay. Yeah, I just got shot in the foot over $8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 sold to Boxel for $40. Okay, thank you, Boxel. Those are sold to you. All right. Any more Last Waltz peeps? Yeah. Let's do this. Let's see here. Last Waltz. That one's still available. $4.99. Because I'm about to offer all this other stuff as a bundle. And I think this would be a cool grab for somebody. As you can see, we're having a Thanksgiving clean out. And we are... that's another picture of the crowd from the Last Waltz. Could y'all imagine being at that concert? That'd be crazy. There's another crowd shot from the Last Waltz. Let's see here. There's Little Richard. There's American Graffiti. That's a press photo from American Graffiti. Wolfman Jack, right? There's another Beach Boys. There's another band photo from Last Waltz. There's a Blues Brothers press photo with Aretha Franklin. I'm not for sure on that guy. That's Frankie Lane. That's Connie Boswell. That's Frankie Lane. Movie Jimi Hendrix. I bet somebody will buy that one. I bet somebody will want that one. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then Dead Weather. Sorry, Craig. Dead Weather went... What happened to it? Dead Weather's right here. So this is called Shark Infested Soda Fountain by Baby Ruthless or whoever had the camera. It's a Third Man Vault book and photos of the Dead Weather. So I think that's a book that went inside of a vault package for the Dead Weather. $34.99. Okay, and then Regina said, Adam says I'll do it $19.99. No, it's still $12. That was on me. If I miss up on somebody's offering, then that's on me. So it's sold to you for $12. And then she says, give me the 3 Elvis prints I don't have. Okay, well, did you claim one early? I don't think you've got one at all, Regina. I don't think you've got one at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one of these and one of these, Regina. You don't have these yet. Okay, so sell her 2 for 20. Sell her those 2 for 20. Okay. All right, and then the first thing is Wolverine wants Little Richard, Blues, and Jimi Hendrix. And then Mary Miles said she'll do 15 for the last waltz. All right, sell her all 4 of these last waltz photos for $15, okay? So these carded, board, and bagged photos are from Fred Goodwin's collection. And so this is like a press photo from the movie Jimi Hendrix, $4.99, okay? And then we had, that was Rick Nelson. I think that was, like I said, Dick Clark, I'm pretty sure. And then we had Rick Nelson. We had, I still didn't know them. There's Gary and the Pacemakers. And then we had Beach. We had the Pogues. We had Jerry Butler. We had Serenade. We had Guy Mitchell, the Mills Brothers, the Bell Sisters. This is Buddy Knox. There, Wolfman Jack. And then here's Bo Diddley from Let the Good Times Roll. There's Jacker. There is Let the Good Times Roll. That is Bill Haley in the Comets. No, I don't think so. Some of these I'm not sure at first glance. And the Little Shepherd of there's more Let the Good Times Roll. I think that's Fats Domino. There's Little Richard photo. You know what you need to do, Jason? You just need to buy all these for $2.50 a piece. That's what you need to do. You need to buy this entire press photo collection from Fred Goodwin for $2.50 a piece. Buy them all, half off, the whole stack. There's Aretha from the Blues Brothers. And then there's Frankie Lane. A few I showed. And then Frankie Lane again. Or just buy them all for $2.50 each. How much would that be? Let's count them. How many photos are here? Let's count them. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 times 2 is 64. 64 plus 32 times 50. 32 and half of 32 is 16. 32, what did I do? 64 plus 16 is 32 and what I've messed up. $48. Did I do that right? 32 times 2 is 64. Hold a minute. 32 times 2 is 64. Half of 32 is 16 plus 64 is $80. $80. Do y'all see how I did that math in my head? $80, right? I think that's $80. 32 times 2.5 is $80. Yeah. 32 times 2.5. 32 times 2, and then I take that 50 cents times 32 and I add it back 32 times 2. That's $80. Yeah. $80. 32 photos. All right, so that's pending. And these are all sold to him. All right. Now, the only thing, so that stack of photos sold to Wolverine for $80. So the only thing left is the weather book. I'll leave that back here behind me for Craig to maybe think about. And that means all the other stuff that's left here, all the Life magazine, George Harrison, the George Harrison, those magazines, including the other John Lennon Rolling Stones, and all this photo and press stuff. Everything that's left, $75. That's everything left on this rack right here, $75. Paper lot, $75. Oh boy, I think that's movie posters. Some good, some bad, some ugly. Who asked about DVDs earlier? I guess they wasn't in that bundle deal. I'd really love to sell the rest of that for $75 or best offer. Think about it. Hope everybody can hear me good. Okay, so we've gone through that. We've gone through all this. What's next over here in the corner? Okay, so I've got a couple old radios. These are sold as is. They're more of display pieces. I really like the dial on this one. This is called Majestic Radio. This is a pre-1945 American-made radio. Look at the AM dial on this. How cool is that? Very cool shelf piece. This back opens up. Is this where I can lift it up? Not without messing it up, maybe. So $99.99 on that. And then here's a really cool Ford Philco radio. Very cool. Once again, as is, $200 on that. $200 on that. These are ready to be moved, though. So if you're local and can come pick these up, that would be great if you're local. If we got to ship them, I'll ship them. Might get a better deal if we're picking them up, if you can pick them up, okay? Anybody want to make an offer on the paper lot before I go any further? The other thing over here was Lobo with motorcycle, Enemy Ace. There's another Chesterfield ad. Do you happen to have any posters, shipping tubes, or sale? I need to ship some of my tubes that ran out of tubes. Are you talking about for local pickup or where we'd have to ship them? I think if it's where we have to ship them to, it wouldn't make much sense. I forgot about a couple toys up here on the very, very top. And, oh, 1 second, please. Okay, so this is from Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs, $129.95 for the Reservoir Dogs figures. There's another Obi-Wan Funko. We already sold one of those earlier. And Craig says I'll do 20 on the Dead Weather. Dead Weather sold to Craig for $20. Let's lay that right there. That sold to Craig for $20, the Dead Weather book. Thank you on that. No problem whatsoever. Okay, and then Radio, what's this poster? This is the Marksman, $35. Wayne Morris, the Marksman, $35. Here's a really nice Logitech. Case Logic for $20. And then behind that, can't go through the road stuff now. Let's see what's behind it. Marlon Gang, Roy Rogers, Barn Dance. I need to ask Landon. All right. There's that. All right. And what else do we got over here? Okay, there's some more Funkos. Reservoir Dogs, Star Wars, Boba Fett, Hot Wheels, $19.99, TIE Fighter, $19.99, Razor Crest, $19.99, Star Wars Micro Machine, Doctor Strange, Megazord, Spider-Man 762, Avengers Diecast, Iron Maiden, Batman, Avengers, Iron Maiden, Aquaman and Storm, Aquaman, John Wayne poster, that's a reproduction. Elvis poster, that's a reproduction. The cigarettes poster was Real Cigarettes, R-E-A-L. I'm trying to import it. It kind of looks like he is, but I don't think he is. Maybe he's just a guy. I never did really price it. It's a cardboard stand-up. So it's a cardboard stand-up. So Star Wars. Those are Hot Wheels, $20 each. Spider-Man Funko, you sure can. So the Action Fleet here was $29.95. Doctor Strange What If is $14.99. The Power Rangers Megazord was $29. And then Spider-Man is the Street Art Collection. Looks like a graffiti Spider-Man, and he's $19.99. The Reservoir Dogs action figure set was $129.95, but it's one of these items we've had here for going on a year and a half, so don't hesitate to make an offer. All right, I've already walked back here to some of this stuff, which was those original Star Wars figures, no takers. I got a PS4 and games. We sold, this thing was full, as y'all know. We sold everything off that shelf already. Okay, now here's some magazines that Paul brought me, and we hadn't really gone through these yet. Let me take a quick peek at them myself. Make sure I want to do what I'm about to do. So yeah, I'm going to flip through some of these right quick and say they're 10 bucks a pop. These are original vintage magazines. So a tribute to Fillmore. There might be some of these doubled. Yeah. So there's Nirvana, 1992, 10 bucks. There is Genesis, 1992, 10 bucks. Fillmore magazine, 10. That is Carole King on Circus, 1973. Chris Frazier wants Nirvana. That's Me magazine, so to Chris Frazier. Let's see here. We got Bobby Sherman, Cat Stevens, Circus magazine. Circus magazine, that is Alice Cooper. Uh-oh. Boy, I know we got some people looking for his stuff. Leon Russell, Cream magazine, Tobacco Companies and Legal Weed. Rave magazine, that's the Small Faces. Hit Parader with Ringo. And that looks like around the time of the White Album. It says October of '69, more like Abbey Road. That is Jeff Boo. Who is this? Rick Derringer? Steven Tyler? I'm not for sure. There's B.B. King and Beck. Guitar Player. Hit Parader, John and Yoko. Hit Parader, John and Yoko. Reservoir Dogs, $65. Who asked first about it? Stanley, we got an offer on Reservoir Dogs. I'll leave it up to you. There is an offer for $65. Let me see what's going on over here. Circus. There was a rave claim for Robert Warner for 10. And Wolverine was next on that one. So those two are sold. Where did I get to over here? We got to Circus with Bruce Springsteen, Bob Marley, The Tubes, and Patti Smith. Song Hits magazine, Merle Haggard. They're on the cover. This is cool. Hit Parader with CCR. Nice. Circus magazine, May of '69, Janis Joplin. And guess what? That's when she was still alive. Cool to see that. Datebook Volume 7, Number 4. Circus magazine, Jerry Garcia. Raps, that's Sly Stone. Sly Stone. We got Elizabeth Hoskins on the Circus with Bruce Springsteen. This is so to Elizabeth Hawkins, and then Cynthia Herdron next, and then Elizabeth on Circus Janis. Tim, I was just about to do a Funko bundle with you. And you're signing off. Elizabeth Hawkins gets Janis Joplin. Leslie Holt, you were next, and Cynthia. The CCR right here was... hold on one second. The CCR was Hit Parader. All these are vintage, original 70s. I'll say otherwise. Yeah, June of '71. All these are 10 bucks. All these are 10 bucks a piece. There's Sly Stone. That one doesn't have a cover. What is this? Circus. It doesn't have a cover, though. Hit Parader, Beach Boys. Hit Parader, James Taylor. Hit Parader... Roxy Music, that's Brian Ferry. Hit Parader, Neil Diamond. Circus with a lot of different people. And then Cream with Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson retires. Cream Magazine, 72. First, though, Wolverine on the CCR. These are all 10 bucks a piece. Hit Parader sold to Wolverine. Jeff Church gets to James Taylor. Just yesterday morning, she let me know you were gone. And then Wolverine on BB for... Is there a Beach Boys one? Hold on a second. He put BB, and BB was for... Beach Boys, yep. Okay, and then Cynthia Herdron on Roxy Music. And then Wolverine got the Neil Diamond one. And then Wolverine got Smokey Robinson, and that's where we're going to show the next one. Behind Smokey is Hendrix Peace. Wow, memorial issue for Jimi Hendrix, 1942-1970, Circus Magazine. $10 on that. Let's see here. This one's got a loose cover. Let me just set that one off to the side. That is Circus Magazine. Humble Pie. Humble Pie. Let me do one more. Hit Parader. Hit Parader from 69 with Hendrix and Paul McCartney on the cover. Wow. Too bad that's not signed. That would be wild. I'd have a heart attack. Next thing over here, Miss Cream, what was it? I'll have to go back to it. But first, the next new comment is Cynthia Herdron on the Multi-Circus. Let me go back to the front. So we have Fillmore. We got Genesis, Me Magazine, Their Circus, Carole King, Fave Magazine with Bobby Sherman, Circus with Cat Stevens, Circus with Alice Cooper, Circus with Leon Russell. There's Cream, America's Rock and Roll Magazine, 1972, The Tobacco Companies, and Legal Weed. Hit Parader with Ringo. There's Circus, I believe, with Rick Derringer on the cover. Yeah, that's Rick Derringer for sure. B.B. King and Beck on Guitar Magazine, and that one's, of course, a little bit more modern. There's Guitar Player. That's a little bit more modern, of course. Hit Parader with John and Yoko. Song Hits Magazine. There's another coverless one. I'm going to go ahead and pop that out. And then Grog does get the Circus with Sly Stone. All right, so Grog gets the Circus with Sly Stone. All right. And then over here, this is the one Cynthia wanted. She wanted this one. That's so to Cynthia Herdron. Okay, and then Chris Frazier got the Hendrix Memorial issue. Wolverine was second. And my mom and I have bought from you all for years, but we've always wanted to use their account. Do I just need a message email with email address? Yeah, I was about to say, Elizabeth, I think you're a first-time buyer. Just make sure you message our page. I need your email address and mailing address, okay? I need your email address and mailing address. So, Carly, you were third on Hendrix. John LeBeatty fourth. Wolverine got the Paul McCartney Hendrix, and Patrick Francis was next. No Jake. No, Jake is gone. I sent Jill home when I started part 2, Tanner. It's just me. I told him I would do anything I could do with one hand, and if I got to show posters, I'll do it back there. Wow, Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison. Beck and BB is 10. Take it for 7. The one that's left over here, the more modern issue, I'll go ahead and do that. Of course, I want to keep all the other ones probably at 10 right now because a lot of these I could easily auction. There's some pretty desirable ones in here. Let me find that, though. Beck and BB. But yeah, Tanner, I told him I sent Jill home after the break. I said I'll do anything I can with one hand. And we've sold a lot. I've already sold all that. And Paul Brothers bought every action figure on the wall. I hadn't took them yet, but shout out to Paul Brothers. We literally did a bundle deal with Paul Brothers. He bought everything on the wall that's carded. No comics, no Funkos. But shout out to Paul Brothers. He bought that entire wall of action figures. Okay, so this is sold to Patrick Francis for 7. Next is I'll take John and Yoko 2. First, Chuck was right ahead of you. Hit Parader Ringo and Hit Parader of John, okay? So that's sold to Chuck Haley. He's first on the Beatles grabs. These are $10 a piece. And let's go back and find those. So he's getting, that's so Chuck Haley, the Ringo. These are so fun to look to. If y'all have never looked through these before, it's so fun to look through these. That's sold to Chuck Haley. Wolverine second, but Wolverine is going to get that really cool Jim Morrison one here. Jim Morrison. That's sold to Wolverine. Carly Souther's next. And Christopher Yoakum. Right behind that is Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan on Cream Magazine, 1976. And then we got Alice Cooper Circus. So, yeah, I was waiting for somebody to get Alice Cooper. I was about to say, I'll pull that one for auction tomorrow, but there's that. Well, of course, we're not open tomorrow, and we're not open Tuesday, but this store is going to be pretty empty come Wednesday. When we get all this stuff pushed to the back, it's going to look like this store was robbed. There's not going to be much left in here. All right, let's keep going through the magazines at $10. Wolverine got Bob Dylan Cream. Multi one here. Wow, that's a cool one. Cooper, Bowie. There's Jimmy Page, Elton John. That's really cool. $10 on that one. Cream Magazine. High Fidelity Magazine, 1980. High Fidelity Magazine, 1980. And then Tiger Beat. That's Davy Jones and Bobby Darin. Tiger Beat Magazine. This is kind of worn out. This is a modern one, too. This is 2003 Guitar One. And then Jazz and Bop. Wow. Africa is Where I Am. Interview with Leon Thomas. 1970. Jazz and Bop magazine. I've never seen that before. Let's go back to the top. And Wolverine got that. And then Cynthia was next. And then Chuck Haley wants song hits. Let's find Chuck Haley's song hits, okay? Chuck Haley's song hits. Let me figure out which one. That might have already been claimed, though. Nope, this right here. Chuck Haley gets song hits. All right, thank you on that. Cynthia Herdron first with the multi cover with multiple people. That's right here for $10. Let me find that. 1 second. That was right here, Cream. So yeah, that's sold to Cynthia Herdron. Leslie on TB. That was Tiger Beat. That's sold to Leslie. Jeff Brent was second. Chuck was next. And Patrick offered 7 for this kind of damaged one. Okay, you got it. And then we have Jazz and Bop. Next is Hit Parader with George Harrison. And who's that jamming next to him? It's not Clapton. I'm not for sure. John Kay? No. Harrison, though, for sure. Flip magazine. That is pretty cool there. That's got, what's going on there in the back right? Is that Dracula of some sort? Steppenwolf. Wow, there's a lot going on that one. Flip magazine. Wow, look at that one. Circus with David Bowie. Holy crap, that's a good one. Okay, so we got George Harrison here. That's Hit Parader. That's sold to Wolverine. Chuck Haley next on that. Circus magazine. McCartney. Mentioning Red Rose Speedway. Alice Quits the Stage. Cynthia Herdron on Bowie. That's a great one there. Man, awesome. Okay, right behind that, Teen Screen. Teen Screen, there's Davy Jones from the Monkees. Joey Bishop. Teen Screen is $10. Stephen Stills. Yeah, Circus Magazine. Stephen Stills. Circus Magazine. That is... That's not Yes. Is that Yes? That's not. That's the Moody Blues. Okay, I was about to say, I saw Yes here. I was like, that's not Yes. That's the Moody Blues. Okay, so there's that. So Bowie went to Cynthia. Leslie was second. Wolverine was third. Pam Murray, fourth. Vladimir fifth. Patrick Francis, sixth. Moody Blues. Raves. Circus Raves. That's Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones. Cream magazine with the Beach Boys. Yep. And then Circus with Mark Farner. That's Grand Funk, right? Mark Farner. Yeah, right down here. Mark Farner, yeah. Oh, boy, I have to... I got to be sharp on stuff. One thing, my skills, I have to identify random people in rock bands on magazine covers. That is T-Rex. That's Mark Bolan. Still got some great ones in here. There's a coverless one. I'll set that over here. Cream, that's Elton John. You can see him from halfway across Earth. Circus, multi-cover. We just got a handful left. 1972 Circus. That's Uriah Heep. Is it down here? Dave Byron, thank you. And then, what a cool Ringo that is. Wow, what a cool Ringo on Circus there. Okay, let's go back to the top. So first one was Wolverine on Mark Bolan, the T-Rex magazine. That's right here. That's sold to Wolverine. Phil Elliott was next. Carly Southers on Elton. Wolverine did get Bolan. Wolverine got gold. And gold was... what was gold? And then I got this here. Unless that's what Wolverine is claiming. That one is sold to Pam Murray. Okay. And then I got to figure out what Wolverine's gold was. It might have been that one I just set to the side because it looked kind of gold. All right, what's behind him? Oh, Ringo. He might have meant Ringo. Yellow Circus, yeah. So he was first on this one, Pam. Pam, he was first on that one. Pam second. Adam Bernardi gets Ringo. Behind that is Alvin Lee. I recognize him. There's his red hollow body guitar. Alvin Lee. Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Rod Stewart. That's a Circus magazine, 1972. Circus, 1972. Up top there is the Kinks, and down here at the bottom is Alice Cooper and Neil Young. And then behind that is Hullabaloo. Yep, with George Harrison, but the cover's ripped. There's another coverless one. Nice. Circus 71 with Led Zeppelin, John and Yoko, Leon Russell, and the Beach Boys. And then there is the very well recognizable Edgar Winter, $9 or $10. And behind Black Sabbath's U.S. Hatred. Okay? So let's flip a few back and see what's going on there. So raves, we got to Circus, Rod Stewart. This one here is sold to Elizabeth Hawkins. Chris Frazier gets the one with Zeppelin on the cover. That's sold to Chris Frazier. Then Carly Suthers. Chuck Haley wants the Hullabaloo with Harrison on the cover. That was right in here. That's sold to Chuck Haley. The Hullabaloo. Pam on Circus 71. That might have already been grabbed. Yeah. And then Wolverine next on Zeppelin, then Susie, and Chuck Haley wants to pass on Hullabaloo. Okay? And that's probably worthy of another read-through. We've sold almost all of them. And these are in pretty old plastic baggies. Honestly, I'll leave it up to the tagging team, but usually plastic like this we get rid of because it's probably not the best plastic to be storing magazines in. It's probably pre-acidic, test stuff. All right, so here is the coverless magazines. I will sell all of those for $10, all the coverless ones. Okay, yeah. All the coverless magazines here. Well, that one might have a cover, but it's loose, it's missing, or it's detached. So coverless, $10, okay? All those coverless ones. Let me go ahead and stack these over here. Hold on a second. Let me set my phone down. Okay. And I'm going to set these over here. That's our next pile of sold. That was a fun box, eh? I'm sure I can find more. That was something Paul found in the back that he brought to me. So those are all sold individually. And I'm sure here in a minute, maybe if we work back there, we can find those. Okay. So first thing is the coverless ones here are sold to Elizabeth Hawkins. All right. And then he does want the Hullabaloo, so give that to Chuck Haley. And Leslie, I'm about to show that right now. Let's read these one more time. So this is really cool. This is called Planet Magazine, a tribute to the Fillmore. 1971. All the great Fillmore stars and shows, which, is iconic. I mean, look at that. Fillmore Magazine, 1971. Okay? And then Music Express Magazine, 1992 with Genesis with Phil Collins. That was given away at Sound Warehouse back in the day. And then Derek Clark, I saw your comment earlier or your question about Melody Maker. If I do have them, I don't know that I have them, if that makes sense, okay? So Cynthia Herdron on Fillmore. That's sold to Cynthia Herdron. And then I'm going to lay some of these out because they're getting kind of wobbly and I don't want any more of them to crease. So Circus Magazine, 1973 with Carole King. Now, I don't know if that's still in there, but look. Free Black Sabbath poster. Should we check or does somebody want to roll the dice? Free Black Sabbath poster inside. They gave away a Black Sabbath poster with a Carole King cover. Okay. Fave Magazine, 1969. Bobby Sherman on the cover. Fave, 1969. Circus, 1971. 1971 Circus. That is the legendary Cat Stevens or Yusef Lateef. Carole King sold to Carly Suthers. Okay? I'm very curious what that Black Sabbath looks like, but now it's Carly's. She can let us know later. Circus 1971, Leon Russell. It does have a torn corner. Leon Russell Circus. Now, Leslie asked about this. Cream mentioning cannabis is 1972. The Tobacco Company's in Legal Weed. Way back in the 60s, starring the Rolling Stones, James Brown, Leslie Gore. Jay Gile greets the Master Blaster. Wow, that's early Jay Gile's article, 1972. And Krasner on RFK, Manson, and the Mob. Wow, what an article that must be. So $9.99 on all these. Next is Carly Suthers is going to get the one with Cat Stevens. That's sold to Carly Suthers. John LeBeatty next on the Circus on that. Okay, and then behind that, Leslie just asked about that one. And then there's Circus 1975 with Rick Derringer. Also has articles about Robert Plant, Leonard Skinner, Average White Band, Jeff Beck, Clapton, and Earring. It doesn't even say Golden Earring, just Earring, 1975. And Aerosmith Steven Tyler interview. Guitar Player magazine. This is from 1997. Allman, Page, Van Halen, Hendrix, Angus, Johnny Ramone, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan on cover. Circus Magazine, 1972. Humble Pie. Also mentions Edgar Winter. And it also mentions Almonds Without Dwayne. This wasn't too long after Dwayne Allman passed away, 1972. High Fidelity Magazine. High Fidelity Magazine. That's an audiophile magazine, of course. Probably going to have cool articles and advertisements for audiophile stuff, tape and vinyl. Leslie Holt sold on this for $10, which was Cream. And Patrick Francis wants the Circus from 1975. So do you. Okay, and then Jazz and Bop magazine. This was the outlier for sure. 1970 with articles about interview of Leon Russell. I've never seen that before. Flip Teen magazine. Fleet 10 magazine. So it says, Maud, Bobby, Glenn, it's up to you. Vote, 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 vote. It's to you. Steppenwolf, Smothers, Sajid, Surprises, Cal Seals, Your Happening, Horoscope. Definitely teen featured there. Teen Flip. So that would be vote, 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 election. I'm going to say that's 62. It's got to be the election of 68 or 72. I'm going to say that's 68 or 72. Probably 72. Who wants to guess? I think it's 72. If it's following the presidential election years. Okay, and then Teen Screen magazine. Teen Screen. So this features Davy Jones, The Beatles. This is 68, 1968. Articles about Dino Desi and Billy. Circus magazine, July of 72. Stephen Stills and free Jethro Tull poster. 200 concerts you shouldn't miss. Wow, 200 concerts from 1975. Can you imagine some of the stuff you could have went and seen? Flip is sold to Chuck Haley. That's sold to Chuck for $10. And then over here we got Circus. I kind of like this one because look, David Bowie poster inside. Anybody want me to check or does somebody want to go ahead and claim it? That's the one with the Moody Blues on the cover. And there's an ad on the back for the Moody Blues 7 Sojourn. That is 1972 then. Yes, December of 1972. Should have a David Bowie poster. Raves magazine, or excuse me, I messed that up again. That is Circus Raves. Bill Wyman cover. Also mentions Deep Purple's John Lord and David Bowie article, The Secrets Behind the Diamond Dog on Tour. Cynthia's going to go ahead and take the Circus with the David Bowie poster. Next is Cream magazine, 1972, The Beach Boys, A Fan Tells All, Black Sabbath Extravaganza, Dr. John's Gumbo, Ain't No Zydeco. There's Circus again, 1974, with Mark Farner. It mentions Boys to Cult. Exclusive Ozzy Osbourne back talks backstage. Next is Circus, and this here is Dave Byron from Uriah Heep. America's Hat Trick. Mick Jagger article, Jethro Tull article. Circus Raves again. 1974, Alvin Lee, Queen, West Bruce Lang, Who, Aerosmith. Circus magazine, 1972. That on the cover was The Kinks, Alice Cooper, and Neil Young. And we got Circus, 1973, Edgar Winter with featured articles about Sabbath, Neil Young, Alice Cooper. Black Sabbath Beach Boys one here, so to Wolverine. All right, anybody else? That's all that's left in there. We've went through those twice, and then actually probably 3 times thoroughly. That was the thorough read-through to make sure we mention all the headlines. All those are so the bottom stack was a bundle, and then all those individually. Boy, my arm is killing me. You'll see my arm. I am like, my right side of my body is going to be sore. I think that's why my arm, it feels like it's literally gotten bigger tonight. My bicep has grown. I've held up this phone for so long. Okay. Next thing over here is Wolverine, Spider-Man Street Funko. I didn't. Sammy Schrader wanted the Spider-Man Funko. I might have missed that. So you did want this. I hope that's what it was. If so, I apologize for missing that. That's sold to Sammy Schrader for $19.99. Thank you on that. And then the next thing over here was Wolverine on the Kinks. I know exactly which one that is. That's sold to Wolverine right here. And then 10 for the Case Logic case. Are you picking up this time, Jeff, or are we shipping? And can I get the one with Bowie, the featured article? Sure thing. The other Bowie with featured article was right here. That was the one with Bill Wyman. That is sold to Cynthia Herdren. And can you use a head mount? Well, Jake brought me a chest mount. Jake brought me a chest mount. Here's a look across our store, by the way. I'm up here against the back wall. I'm up here against the back wall, and that's a look across our store. And Jake brought me a chest mount, but it was too small. It was for like a middle-sized man, not a larger-sized man like me. So I actually put it on, and it literally broke. But all that happened was the strap came unfastened, but we got it fixed. For 10. Okay, that was marked 20. My bad. I will split that with you. I can sell this for 15. And Jeff, I'll do 15. That's going to suck to ship that, but if you want it, I'll ship it to you for 15. The Case Logic, okay? All right. Now, y'all know I'm all about bundling, and that castle might be behind you on the shelf. So somewhere she saw a blue, Susie saw a blue castle earlier, and I still don't see that, Susie. There was blue-looking PlayStation games. There's the Star Wars figures. There's all of that. I don't know of a blue castle. Not at all, honestly. What I was going to say is, all right, so Jeff Church, yeah, 15, he said sold. And Sammy said sold on Spider-Man for 15. All right, so that's sold for 15. This is sold for 15. All right, Case Logic case. Thank you, Jeff Church. All right. And then, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. Over here, so it's your birthday, John LaBeatty. Happy birthday, John LaBeatty. Wow, 5-0. Jim B offered 65 for Reservoir Dogs. Jim, make it 75 and it's yours. What did we have that mark? 130. 75 and it's yours, Jim B. And then Disney Castle Funko. Okay, Castle Funko. So I know there's not one over there. There is no Castle Funko over there. There's no Castle Funkos over here. It might be in a different part of the store, Susie. You might be, I know what you're talking about. You're probably talking about over here. Let me walk over there. Jim B takes the Reservoir Dogs figures for $75. All right. That's sold to Jim B. All right. And we're going to lay that right there. That's kind of out of order, but I think they can figure that out. And then, all right, so what I was going to do on the magazine, so everything that's left, $7 a piece. Let's count them if somebody wants a bundle deal on what's left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 10 at 7 is 100, and then those 3 would be 21, $121. $100 for the ones that's left. No, that's not right. Excuse me. 10, what did I say? 13 times 7. Sorry. 91. $90 for everything that's left. $90. So that's less than $7 a piece. A little less than $7 a piece for the ones that's left. Okay, we can sell that whole box. Vintage magazines sell. We sell the heck out of them. I love when I crack open a tub. I'm like, wow, vintage magazines. I know there's more around here somewhere. Still got that bundle lot. Let's go over here to where Susie maybe is talking about. Anybody want the bundle deal with their main magazine? Blah, 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 blah. My brain, after tonight, I don't know if I'll be able to record flip videos after tonight. My brain will be so dead. I've been like, I don't know if I even have room up here. Look at all this stuff. It's crazy how much we've sold. Okay, I think she's talking about this. This is Sleeping Beauty Castle with Mickey Mouse. Is this what you're talking about? Sleeping Beauty Castle and Mickey Mouse. It's a Pop Town Disneyland 65th anniversary, and that was $29.99. Okay, all these other Funkos are $14.99. which was Luke Skywalker, The Mandalorian, Kylo Ren, Luke Skywalker, different ones, John Wick, Jim Halpert, Sam Rothstein. Down here we got Charlie Brown. The bigger one's a little bit more. So I got Charlie Brown with Kite. I got Cinderella. I got Charlie Brown with Kite, Superman, and with Disney villains, Yugimoto, Harpy Lady. All right. So that's the one you want, Susie. Over here's where my mic kind of starts cutting in and out, so it may get risky. More Funkos. Ariel from Little Mermaid. Newman, Kramer from Seinfeld, of course. Boba Fett, different Skywalker. Britney Spears, Chewbacca. There is Walter Payton, Swamp Thing, Legolas Greenleaf. Here is Fig Pen. I think this is some kind of new acrylic. I think this is some kind of acrylic thing. Yeah, they're pretty pricey. Superman's $39.99. Here's a rubber ducky. That's Spock from Star Trek, of course. He's $11.99 for the Spock rubber ducky. Ash, Jor-El, that's the 1978. So that's technically a Marlon Brando Funko. Star Wars, Michael Myers, Yellow Power Ranger. Paul Brothers was watching. He'd buy more of these. Snoopy. How much is Snoopy? Is that a Legolas Funko? Yeah, that was Legolas Green Lord of the Rings 77. And Legolas is $14.99. And I think Charlie Brown's are $14.99. Did you see a Snoopy somewhere? You did. You saw this. Okay, so Peanuts. I may have another one of these somewhere. But this is $24.99. It's Snoopy with is that his dog bowl? Yeah, Snoopy with his dog bowl. Okay, and then let's see here, and then the next, we need to pull Susie the castle. Definitely before we forget. Okay, now whoever's tagging, that binder of Beatles cards is where I left off the last stream. So we're going to start with a new pile right here on top of it. Okay? And that's so to Susie Breedlove. And then what's R2-D2 and Snoopy? Okay, the R2-D2 here. So Snoopy was asked about by Thomas Clark Adams. So that's the order on that. This is actually R2Q5. It's an app-enabled droid. I think this is literally a movable R2-D2 lookalike, and you can operate it from your phone. It's $99.99. $99.99. BG475. You throw an offer out there, I'm willing to entertain it tonight. You caught me on a real good night to be buying a Bee Gees autograph. Thomas Clark on Twitch does want Snoopy. Going to get Peanuts here for $24.99. Hopefully, is my mic good right now? I was so worried about, we could have sold half of this wall tonight. This is the wall where I've been having mic problems. So maybe we're just on a good streak, because earlier nobody could hear me. It was like a dead zone, and I could have sold, when we were rolling, half of these Funkos. And maybe y'all will help me out. We'll sell a lot more right now. Here's a couple of ones we just got in collections. There's Bambi. Bambi's $15.99. We got this really cool gold Mickey Mouse diamond collection, Barnes & Noble exclusive. And then there's Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. We've already sold one on that. And then Creature of Black Lagoon. Creature of Black Lagoon is $124.99. $124.99. And then Enchantress, Beauty and the Beast. Enchantress is $15.99. Hula Leo from Lilo and Stitch is $14.99. And then Alice in Wonderland, Alice Falling, is $15.99. Okay? And here's the Bambi. Bambi Classics $12.15. Summer Convention Limited Edition. And then Legolas for $12. I will. Assistant insert. I saw one sell for $1. I'll do 200. Well, my question is, was that one authenticated though? See, a lot of times on comps on eBay, the thing about comps on eBay is raw stuff on there, you do see it at great prices, but anything with a JSA, Beckett, or PSA, it goes into a different level of pricing. That nut certification can really bump it up. I might need to really check it. I might need to, before I go that low on it, I might need to double check it one more time. Because you can go on there and you can find where like a signed Ozzy album just sold for $300, but it's not authenticated. But the authenticated ones are like $1,000. So, all right, so here's the order. Bambi is sold to Susie, and then Cynthia on Alice, okay? And then Leslie was next. So Cynthia got Alice Wonderland. It was authenticated. Okay, maybe I need to reevaluate then. Maybe give me tonight to really look into that. Okay, and then we had R2 GMB offered $65 for R2D5. Sell this to GMB for $65. Okay, I did miss that. Okay, I did miss that. I'll definitely look into that. I need to double check comps. Plus, man, I think the letter, I'll have to get on JSA's website. If you get on JSA's website, I think the letter for BG's cost $75. I think I paid $75. I don't know where we got the autograph from. I think we just found it. So luckily, I don't think we paid anything for it other than whatever we probably paid for the record or whatever it was found in, that copy of Odessa. Okay, here's some other great Funkos here. Look at this Batman. I love this one. There's a classic one there, $275. A lot of Funkos. Hopefully, y'all let me know if my mic goes out. I'm going to jump over here for a second so I can sit on this bench. Here's another Wonderland. I'm going to sit down right here on this nice Kiss bench for a second. Box Lunch exclusive, Alice in Wonderland, $15.99. There's Michael Scott. Michael Scott for $15.99. Prince Eric, Little Mermaid. Wreck-It Ralph from Ralph Breaks the Internet. Bean from Disenchantment. Magic Johnson, NBA All-Stars. Travis Kelce, King Randor from Masters of the Universe. Cookies and Cream Hershey's. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, Eddie. Shawn Michaels, Hershey's Kisses. Here's some board games. Probably condition will vary. We got Dog Fight, has a really cool box to it. Really cool vintage board game here. Dog Fight, but look at it. James Bond. It's some, so I got Star Wars, different ones like that. They're just worth just boxes, if anything. Dog Fight price $45 on Dog. Classy board game, Corvette trivia game, Mad Magazine game, branded game, Charlie's Angels game. Cool. I bet these will definitely sell now that y'all can get them out and I can show boxes. First, though, Alice in Wonderland is sold to Susie Breedlove. Let's get that over here for Susie in the sold pile. I don't have any more app, and there's a BB-8 in the very back. I don't even know what it goes to, but it's a giant one. It's like a full-size one. Okay. Dog Fight. Let's see what else we had. So Lassie. How much on Lassie? Lassie. Lassie. Corvette Trivia Quiz. $28.99. The original Corvette Trivia board game. Official seal of Corvette Museum of $28.99 on that. And the Mad Magazine game, Alfred E. Newman. Rubber band flew off of it. And then branded game, I think that's Western related. Branded game is $76.99. And these next are really cool. We have Charlie's Angels. The original, $14.99. At some point, somebody had it for 50 cents. Then this last one is Y, presented by Alfred Hitchcock. And that is $39.99. Y, presented by Alfred Hitchcock. Michael. branded was $39.99. And I think I've lost my sound. Second. Let me go over here. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Okay, I should be connected now. Test, test, test. Yeah, that's a bad part of the store. Okay, I'm reconnected. So let me just stand right here and tell you who asked. That was Numanoid. I think I said, well, I forgot. Numanoid. Oh, magazine. Mad Magazine was $49.99. Okay, so Charlie's Angels is sold to Pam Murray for $10. All right, Corvette is sold to Jason Boxell for $20. So this was $49, $39, I think is what I said. There's Lassie and Dogflight. I'm going to leave those right over there. These puzzles I had marked down for $15. These are from the artist Rodney Matthews. We sold a chunk of them. I never did sell one originally. I've had these in stock for I don't know how long now. They're really cool though. So he did a lot of prog and metal albums. And we have one left called Arena. And these are from Rodney Matthews. You may recognize that signature now that you see it. And these are $15. Rodney Matthews. And I got a lot of his different covers. Okay, we took a chunk out of them. Oh, I can't stretch that far. Hold on a second. Let me just put these over here. Okay, yes, I am sitting on a KISS stool. If anybody wants to buy it, obviously the only way we could ship this is you pay postage and we'd have to disassemble it, which wouldn't be that bad of an issue, but it's more so a local pickup item. $175. It's a KISS Destroyer. Puzzles, nothing else over here. Double Playmobil, Aston Martin. There's another game, Lone Ranger. I've had that one forever. I've had that for this November 21st, so that was just a few days ago. I've had that now for 3 years, that Lone Ranger game. It's been sitting up there for 3 years. Every day, just sitting right there for 3 years. So if anybody wants to take an offer on the Lone Ranger, let me know. I don't like having stuff that long. That's a really cool toy up here. It's hard to get to, obviously, but it's called G.I. Joe Blackhawk. It's a really cool thing. It's a G.I. Joe figure. It's got like a comic book with it. It's got inserts. It's a real large G.I. Joe figure. I think I'm asking $200 for that. It's almost worth me getting up there and getting it down right quick, because I think if y'all seen it, somebody would want it tonight. It's a really cool World War II era G.I. Joe theme, and I've had that for a long time, but it's so cool I've never been in a hurry to sell it. It's kind of like being in my personal collection up there on the top shelf. Okay. But if I do have some interest, I don't mind getting on a ladder and getting it down. We sold all the proof sets out of here earlier tonight. We just have a few pieces of copper left. We sold most of that. We wiped out this shelf. We wiped out a lot of this shelf. I never did really go through the trinkets in this case. Lassie board game was $19.99, I think. Lassie was $19.99. Yeah, Chuck Haley. $39.99. $39.99 Lassie. BB-88. I will take you back there to where it is, and I'll show you, and I'll see if I can get to it. I don't think so. I got to walk back here anyways, because I think we can get into some tubs of new stuff back here and don't have to worry about the mic. There's where I stand every night and do the sales. Here's kind of the operation center. This poster is all sold. Everything, all those posters sold earlier when we went through that tub. That was epic. Let me jump over here. So Jim, I don't know if I can get to it or not. There it is, okay? It's a full-size BB-8. I guess I could get to it, yeah. I'll get to it if you buy it. What's your offer, though? I mean, what's your offer? That depends if I want to risk my life trying to climb up there to get it. Yeah, sell Chuck Haley Lassie for $25. So here's where we was going through those posters earlier. Now that we've made a lap back here, I need to go get that for him before we forget. And I need to really grab, let's make a note, whoever's watching, make a note to reach out to ST on that Neil Young. And all these gold records too. I think there was a guy interested in some of those. I went to them too fast, and I was just pricing them $500, and I was like, yeah, I don't know anything about that, Jim. I'd have to get it down and really figure out what it is. It's not like new in the box. We've had that loose up there in that tub for like 5 years now. I don't know why it's never been put out for sale. Oh man, there's great stuff in here. If y'all could only see what's in these tubs, this is all like metal toys, but they kind of need cleaning and processing. See, my goal was where we've emptied the front part of the store, I wanted to empty this booth here and try to sell all this stuff, but we just ran out of time. So that Neil Young brings me to the nail. Yeah, I told somebody my $500 price would buy it now, but I might need to look it up, and they was interested. So I'm going to do some research and figure out if I should have grabbed it for $500 or if I need to price it for $980. So I think I marked a few things tonight on the fly that were like steals, like me just, because what I was doing earlier with posters, I was just saying 500 or 75 or 150, and some of them sold way too quickly. Lassie has sold a Chuck Haley for $25. And yeah, let's go back there to those gold records, and let me go this way right quick. And then might be missing a remote. I think that's in there with it. I'll have to go look, but I think that's in there with it. So over here was the first gold record. Now Chuck Haley was asking, see the great poster stashes back here, like we didn't go through these frames, and I'm about to show these because I think the people that's waiting on posters, we can see this over here. Tammy Hinkle said, isn't the BB-8 remote control? Well, Tammy, I bought it from you, so maybe you know. That's your BB-8. That's the one I bought from you like 5 years ago, so maybe you'll know. Yeah, and here's all these Star Wars toys I bought from Tammy 5 years ago. See, I told y'all, this stuff is layered. This is stuff back here. These are all Kiss magazines and Kiss books. That's all full of magazines and Kiss books. And this is stuff I can't even get to anymore. This is stuff from 3, 4, and 5 years ago that's been buried, and we're just now being able to get to it. So, somebody bought the Kiss stool? Who got the Kiss stool? No, they asked about it. No one claimed the Kiss stool, right? No one claimed the Kiss stool. All right, so the first platinum record's over here. And Chuck Haley, we never did close a deal. Train to Tombstone, Roy Rogers, signed Roger Moore poster, Flying Merkle mirror, Kiss, Sands of Iwo Jima, Music City Soccer, Ace Frehley, Iron Maiden, and then William Jennings Bryan. It's not there. Gone with the Wind, Grateful Dead. Kiss singles box, $500. $500. That's my I don't know price. Kiss. Okay, so this is Rod Stewart. This is a real gold platinum record. So over here, Rod Stewart is presented to David Foster to commemorate the RIA certified platinum sales of 1 million copies of Merry Christmas Baby. So that's a real, not just a gimmick display item. There's gold records and platinum records that are gimmick items, and then there's real ones that were actually issued to people by the RIAA. That's a real one issued by the RIAA. And it would look even better after you take it out of plastic. This guy got it like this and never did even unshrink wrap it. That was from that music producers collection. That was from that music producers collection in Nashville here that we bought. The Gone with the Wind I priced earlier for $175. $175. That's the 1954. That's the 1954. Where's the Kiss stash of posters? Those are behind this wall, behind those tubs and milk crates. I've got about 7 of them like that, full of Kiss posters. Coming soon. Is that a Beatles and Mono box? Yes. That's the original, and then we've got 7, 8. We got 8 sealed ones over here somewhere. We got 8 sealed ones, the new one, and then I think that's the original window card. That is an insert. That's what they call the insert size. Not a window card. That's the insert size. That's the insert size. 1954. It can't be rolled. No, you don't. It probably could be folded because it does have old creases, but it's probably been flat for 30 years. Fred Goodwin probably framed that in the 90s, I bet. I bet that's been framed since I've been alive. So it's probably, you don't want to try to refold it. It might color break it. You'd have to ship it flat. You'd have to ship it flat. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's flip through these boarded and frame posters over here and see what we can find out, okay? And let me prop up my phone here. Yeah, this room here is where it gets kind of crazy. This is kind of where we've been sorting comic book collections. But yeah, there's the Beatles, those boxes right there. Those are the Beatles mono boxes. And I think these are full of Funkos we've never put out. And these are comics that we've bought, but we hadn't processed them yet. And then back here behind me is Fred Goodwin's library of books that we still trying to go through here and there. Okay, 175 on that. 175 on that. So first thing I have is, this is Kid Rock. Kid Rock second annual Chillin' the Most Cruise. Kid Rock is $35. Chillin' the Most Cruise poster. Crosby, Stills, and Nash Vibes Music Festival, Seaside Park, Buddy Guy, George Clinton, and P-Funk. $35 on that. This is a Kiss cardboard stand-up. Buyer would have to pay postage. I would say $125. Buyer would have to pay postage. $125. Cardboard stand-up from Kiss. Kiss U.S. Tour, Spirit of 76. $125. $125. Kiss Revenge, $75. This is, I can't confirm how legit this is, but it's damaged either way. So Return of the Jedi, $35. I think that's too small to be a real one. $35 on that. And one more here. Monterey Pop 67. That's obviously some kind of reissue. I think that's the real one there. And then that's a, so. Okay, 25 on that. GMB Kid Rock, $25. Kid Rock, $25. GMB's offering $25. So that tells me this is a $200 to $400 poster. And I've priced it at $35. It's a $200 to $400 poster, and GMB's offer $25. So that means I need to tell him I'll take $30 for it. $30. Okay. And then let's go over here and would you do $100? That's going to cost me a fortune to ship flat to the UK. All right, we'll have to get this out of the frame and sell this to Wolverine for $100. That's the Gone with the Wind poster. Sell this to Wolverine for $100. Okay. This is sold to Wolverine for $100. Let me lay this. Let me get a sold pile going over here next to this cart. Okay, we hadn't done this tonight yet. I hope someone's seen it. Platter Pack. $14.99. If y'all hadn't heard, this has been the sensation of the night. I mean, this has been the sensation of the night, these platter packs. $14.99 for platter pack. All right? John LeBeatty said he would do 35 on Kiss. Well, I've already promised the Jim B for 30. Now, Jim B's going to sell that on eBay for $295 and pay next month's rent. So somebody just missed the boat. Hope y'all are paying attention. Next thing is Stanley Richmond said Kiss $65. Now, Stanley Richmond, is that an offer on Revenge? Is that an offer on Spirit of 76? Or is that an offer for the cutout cardboard piece? Let me know exactly which one you're offering on, okay? And then who got the platter pack? Chad Snyder. I'm going to sell the next three randomly here in a second. This is sold to Chad Snyder for $14.99, okay? Does the Kiss poster have the red border or red then white outer border? Kiss poster has white and then red. This has white and then red. Okay. Next thing over here. Jim B said, sorry for your $5 foot shot as he's laughing. Jim B has made already tonight, he's made $3,000 to $5,000 watching this stream just tonight alone. The Gorillaz movie poster, it's a little folded over. It needs to be straightened out. I'm going to say $25, the Gorillaz. We have Originus del Kung Fu. I'm going to say $35. And I have a Kiss poster here. I don't know. I'm going to say $75. And I've got a Beatles poster here. I'm going to say $25. Okay? And then we're going to figure out which one Stanley Richmond wants. How much is Kiss 76? $125. $125 for Kiss 76. Okay. This is very nicely framed. I mean, the framing would cost you $200 or $300. But if you want just the poster, or if you want to come pick it up, or if you want it shipped, you got to pay the postage. Dolly, $125. Dolly, $125. That's an amazing frame. That's a $300 frame job. So if you come pick that up, nice. But if you want it shipped, you got to pay for the postage. That's a movie she was in, Straight Talk, an original movie poster. $125 on that. Spirit of 65. I can't do that. We just sold one of those, I think, last Monday for $95. So I can't do... Stanley, I can't do 65. Plus, Carly said she wants it for $125. So it's yours if you want it for $125. If not, I'm going to sell it to Carly. Sell Ada Bernardi the Beatles for $18. Next here is another Kung Fu poster. I'm going to say $35 on that. I don't know what movies these are. I just know they look really dang cool. There's another one, Don Wang and Duel with Death, $35 on that. And the other one here is Middle with Simpleton. I can't read that. Some kind of movie or radio station related. Spirit of 76. This is sold to Carly Southers for $125. Thank you, Carly. That's sold to you. I don't even know. I've never seen these before. Music. That's just some kind of whatchamacallit poster. $15 on music. And then what's the next one here? This one is a blacklight poster of a tiger. I'm going to say $35 on the blacklight tiger poster. Old Western looking poster here. This is Song of Nevada with Roy Rogers, Trigger, Dale Evans. That's an original. $125. Tim Graham wants the poster that says music for $15. All right. And some of these will come shipped rolled in a tube. Some of them will come shipped flat. Depends on how much you've already bought with your order. If you want something specifically shipped flat, like a framed item, you need to let Ed know. I think this thing's pretty pricey. It looks like it's signed, and we actually had to have JSA inspect it because it looks like it's signed over here, but it's not. That's actually on the poster. Neon Woman, $125. Neon Woman. Here's a very nicely gigantic poster. And this is King Kong. It's an advanced poster. Once again, in a beautiful frame. No, wait a minute. Oh, the glass or something has shifted. Something's happened to it. Well, we're going to have to pull that one out then. King Kong, we'll have to pull it out of that beautiful frame. $35 on King Kong. And then this here, golly, this one weighs 200 pounds. This is a gigantic frame. Once again, a $300 frame job. Death Riders The Range, Ken Maynard. That is a huge frame on that one. I'm going to say $150. And then this is another very expensive frame job for a real signature, though. This is a print of the Yellow Rose of Texas, and it's signed by the artist and Dale Evans. And Fred at one time had it marked $995. That's the price Fred Goodwin had on it one time, $995. I'll take it out of the frame for $150, or $150 and you pay postage, which isn't going to be cheap and very difficult to ship, but we can do it. Okay, we knocked out that whole stack of posters. If you change your mind on something in there, let me know. Any more cinema insert cards like Gone with the Wind? There's more Westerns over here. I don't have any more. Nothing as big as Gone with the Wind. I got tons of Westerns over here, but that's it. I got all these Westerns from Fred's collection. Train to Tombstone, Last Shadows of Tombstone, stuff like that. Okay, earlier we got over here and I kind of stopped at a certain point with some of these cards. So let me price some stuff out here. There's the Batmobile bike, or the Batgirl bike again, for $59.99. So I was working in this thing here, this binder of Kiss cards. I didn't know really where to begin. I was going to say this, and then all these over here too. If they're cards, I think I just saw a poster. I'm going to say $150 for all these cards, everything that's here. And I'll include this Kiss photo and Kiss photo. Okay, so $150. And that's going to include the following. For $150, Paul Stanley, Kiss Alive. We got Bay City Rollers cards. We got National Park cards. We got these more modern cards. We got a bunch of those. There's several pages of them. There's more. There's these. Okay. And then there's those. Okay. And then these are number 52, 53, 54, 63. And then over here we got the wax packs. 71, 72, 70, 84, 82, 93, 90, 89, 101, 102, 109, 110, 111, 118, 119, 120, 121. There's another wax pack, 130, and then 21, 22. Big part of the set, if not all of it right here. Everything you're seeing me flip through, $150. There's more Kiss. There's more Kiss. These are all Kiss. Yeah, I'm going to go show the Go Desk, and it looks like here's somebody's duplicates. 65, 61s, 50s, 41s, 37s, 23s. And there's a pack at the back. 89, 88, 65. A lot of cards there. $150 for all these. I was going to sell all those together. Okay. Including the National Park. Right now, I've priced it all together, Leslie. Okay, because that's something I didn't get to. A yellow bin. I don't know what's in this one. Let me take a peek. This is full of Fred Goodwin magazines. Yeah. And prints. That's full of Fred Goodwin magazine and prints. All right, so a lot of Kiss cards there for $150, and those two photos. Let me get those back out of there. Hold on. Get them where I can stack them better. All right, there's that. And we'll see what Jeff Brent says, and then Phil Elliott's offered $100. Okay. And this is kind of where we stopped. Oh, here's these. Here's some Elvis cards for $25. Elvis cards for $25. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go over there to those gold records. Hold on, I got to fix my mic right quick. Let me prop up my phone. My mic is too high up on my shirt, and the fuzz thing keeps itching my chin. So let me move it down further on my chest. There we go, about there around my mid chest area. Probably even sounds better. Sometimes I get it too close to my face, and it gets distorted. So here's another Gone with the Wind poster. This one he had framed. This is once again a reissue. Let me see if I can get a year. Obviously, it's a reissue. This is really modern. 1996. That's 1996, but it's beautiful. I mean, great colors and stuff. And, of course, if you're holding out for an original, I hope you're holding out for $1 million. No, it's not that much. Original Gone with the Wind stuff is very expensive. Okay. All right. All right, so all these Kiss cards are sold to Phil Elliott for $100. These are sold to Phil Elliott for $100. Let's move these over here so I don't lose them. Phil, those are sold to you for $100. I left my chat over there. All right, let's do another platter pack. Let's do the yellow and white one. Yellow and white platter pack, $14.99. Yellow and white platter pack, $14.99. Okay, what was this? What was this? This was... I don't know what this is. This is a Kiss poster from a magazine. Special Giant Kiss poster, Music Live special issue. $15 for that. That wasn't sold. That was laying over here in the sold pile, but it's not sold. I have not sold anything like that tonight. Yeah, let's go look at the gold records. I got to get my phone over here because that's my chat. I left my chat behind, so I'm blind to what y'all were saying. All right. Jim B offered $105 for the Kiss cards. You were 5 minutes too late. Jim B trying to do every research he can to figure out how much money he can make. He realized he could make money, and now he's mad. What's in the platter pack? Nothing. So tonight, this has been the sensation. These are just empty cases you store 45s in, okay? These have been empty cases you store 45s in. This one is officially sold to Jeff Church. And then Chuck Haley was next. They're empty. I've got just a couple more that I know of, but we've ended up selling, I don't know how many tonight. And I think there's still more hidden throughout the store. But I said earlier, we tapped into something tonight. I'm going to reach out to some people. I have found out tonight it could be $1 billion idea. The world is in need of 45 storage. Look at all those we sold. The world needs 45 storage devices. Evidently, nobody's been making them. And evidently, the world needs 45 storage. The likes of which we were not aware of. So we discovered something tonight. The world needs platter packs. They probably literally hadn't been made in mass production since, what, the mid-70s? So we have found out they need platter packs. I know they make kind of a modern type one, but it's not cheap at all. See, that's the thing. Like, I've been selling them for $15, which seems like a pretty good price compared to what I see new ones. The new ones that I see, I can order some I have before. They're like $49.99 and $39.99. So I think that's the problem. The new ones to make really well, they are not cheap. And so I think people's like, $15? Heck, I'll take all of them you got, Chad. Okay, so here's some of the gold records. Let me squat down here where I can read through them. The first thing I have is Terry Ellis. So a lot of these are presented to Terry Ellis. These are real gold records, not actually gold like AG pure gold. They're just officially, okay? So Scott, the way we're doing the platter packs is random. So if I asked everybody earlier how many people wanted a platter pack, we would have had 175 names. So it's just whenever I show them. I've been doing them random for the last 9 hours. So hopefully you're watching. Otherwise, to be fair, we're just doing them random. It's been insane. It's if you've been watching since the beginning, the platter pack demand has been insane. Okay, so this is Pat Benatar. Now, here's what I did earlier. Somebody was like, how much? And I said, I don't know, so they're $500 a piece. I don't know, so they're $500 a piece. Here's the next one. Leo Sayer, Thunder in My Heart. That's a UK edition. Chrysalis, Thunder in My Heart, UK edition. Jethro Tull, Heavy Horses. Jethro Tull, Heavy Horses. Once again presented to Terry Ellis. The best of Jethro Tull. This guy worked with Jethro Tull a lot because I think up there is literally a photo of him and Jethro Tull, or Ian Anderson. Leo Sayer, obviously he worked with Leo Sayer too. This is presented to Terry Ellis of Chrysalis Records, Limited, England, by the directors of Festival Records Australia. There is Robin Trower, NCT Dreams. This Jim Morrison poster I have not priced, and I'm not going to till I find out more about it. Same thing with Neil Young. I think that's a pricey one, him and Neil. Those look expensive. And then over here, Disraeli Gears. This is Cream Disraeli Gears. It's a signed lithograph by the artist who did the artwork. I have not priced that tonight because I was kind of not aware. And the next thing over here is another gold record. This is a gold CD, Baby Animals. And then over here we had Terry Ellis, something else Australian. Chrysalis, Jethro Tull, their second concert tour of Australia. I dropped my phone. Chad, I'm going to have trouble shipping my platter pack to the UK. I think I got one, a green one. Let Scott Dwallow have it. Okay. Well, if they can find that from earlier in the sale when he got one, Scott Wolverine says you can have his. Okay, that literally got me out of breath having to squat down there and read through those. This has been a workout tonight. Maybe I can go find another stash of good rock posters like we just went through. They could be back here. I kind of think they are. It's just trying to find them and get to them. I know where some others are. They're back here more in the store part of the store. So let me cut through here where we literally cut through the wall one time. There used to be a wall there. We had to cut through so the shipping department could be connected over here. Had to cut through the wall. This is new Kiss stuff they just dug out. Don't know when any of it is. I think this is new stuff they just bought. That's all Fred Goodwin stuff that still hadn't really been gone through thoroughly. Posters, inserts. I think these are all full of toys and magazines. Still got to get through that someday. We're talking about, once again, years of selling. Here's another platter pack, $14.99. I'm just down to a couple I have my hands on. So that one's $14.99. Let's see who's first on that one. Okay. And then I think over here is in the next batch of posters we can try to dig through. Maybe. And then I was going to go through and do one more final pass up front. Okay. I was going to do one more final pass up front because it's been most of the stuff I've been trying to move tonight's up there. Robin Glenn, finally, I think she's been trying to get one for 9 hours, right, Robin? Robin gets a platter pack, okay? And then I'll do that last one here in just a second. That's the only way I'll be able to keep it fair. Been doing that random platter pack grab for a while. Yeah, Fred stuff's amazing. Yeah, there's way too many layers here. Well, now maybe that I've got all this emptied up here after we start getting it shipped out. There's the next row of stuff. It's back here that's good. And then in those tubs, it's just a matter of trying to get it out. And you see how tight over here where I do the sales, you see how I have very little room to even spin around and show stuff. And trying to go through these tubs is just a challenge. Man, we need a store 4 times as big. I've always said we don't even need to have a storefront, but I kind of want to keep one so we can decorate it for when we do these kind of sales. Because when we do these kind of sales, it's good to have everything out and displayed. Okay, so over here, I tried to do a bundle deal with somebody earlier on these red lines. I try to show everybody our inventory to let everybody know, like, you don't need to miss a Coletco sale, because at any given time we could start going through this stuff. And, you know, if you're watching and you're paying attention, you'll probably see something you've never seen. So I almost made a deal on those red lines earlier, but we were just too far apart. I told them 40% off. And then the Matchbox cars. This used to be like, I had these lined up like almost touching. And that was back at the beginning of the year. And now they're pretty spaced out. So I've sold a lot of them out of here. And then there's some cards. Nothing too special there. Just some advertising stuff. A lifetime of selling. Okay, so what time is it? At 1:43 here. Let's figure out what the next move is. The next most important thing on everybody's list. I don't even know how many people are watching total. I need to go back here and see how many people are watching total. By the way, since Jake got me set up with this app, we bought a subscription to this app. I think, connect my phone and go mobile a lot more often if I want to. It's not that much of a big of a deal now. I literally just click on an app and it connects over here. So yeah, here's where I do the sales. There are 105 people watching. That's pretty impressive. 105 people watching at 1:45 and posters. Okay, I think 105 over here. So what I need to do then, I think we need to go to my station. And if I'm going to go through these posters, the only way I can do it with one hand is by going to my mounted camera. So if nobody else wants anything else up front, I think I'm going to try to knock out the rest of these posters and show some autographs. But I'm going to connect my mounted camera and do that. All this is sold. All of that's sold. They're going to have a heck of a time keying all this stuff in. I got to grab another bottle of water. And then at some point I got to stop. Maybe in about an hour. Maybe in about an hour. So... okay. Yeah, Rush is signed by Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart. It's signed by Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart. I do have more Kiss cars. Yes, I do. I can bring some of those over here. What I'm going to do, let me connect to my old-fashioned camera here. Hold on one second. Let me set this down. And voila, we're back on normal cam. Okay, there we go. All right, that's a relief for my arm. Holy moly. All right, that's a relief on my arm. One second, please. Let me text back April. Okay. I don't know whose water that is, but we'll save it for Otis for his water bowl. All right. Let me take this off the table. And Jake's got quite the setup here. All right. Let's try to go through some of these other posters. Do I have an empty crate at all back here? Man, starting a new sale tomorrow is going to feel like starting a... that's going to be crazy, trying to start a new record sale tomorrow after what we've done tonight. All right. Let me flip this over. All right, knuckle adjustment. Oh. Nice. If y'all want to see something kind of gross, I don't know if y'all can see that. Look how dirty my screen is. That's where when you're talking and you're spitting. Jill said, "What's wrong with your phone?" I said, "That's where I've held it up to my mouth all night talking, and I spit all over it." Y'all probably didn't need to see that, but If you don't realize it, when you talk a lot, you do a lot of spitting. Next thing is Eagles Fogelberg poster. Mary, that's still over here somewhere next to me. I have a sticky note still in my backpack that says Price Eagles poster for Mary Miles. You know why? It's gotten mixed in with all the other ones over here. It's gotten mixed in with those. So, all right, let's show some posters. I think I got some stuff over here that's rolled and ready to be sold. Okay, let's open one up and see what happens. Hopefully they're priced. Okay. If not, we'll price them on the fly like we did with some of the other ones. I don't think I have a Steely Dan poster, not to my knowledge. All right. This is Slayer, $75. Slayer, $75. Motley Crue, $75. These are in really good shape, too. Motley Crue, $75. I mean, really good shape. They'll start coming in tomorrow and watching this sale. They'll start tagging. That's why we're not invoicing until a week from today. That way they can get all this stuff organized. Bonham, as in Jason Bonham. $45 on Bonham. Don't see that one too often. Bonham. Metallica, $75. Metallica, $75. I think Tanner's got these photographed too. That means I can start posting them elsewhere if I need to. Van Halen, $75. Slayer, $75. Iron Maiden, $75. Jeff, I've got a couple hardcore, and I mean hardcore Van Halen people that have been asking for these posters, and I know they're not watching right now. Any other time I would negotiate with you, but that Van Halen poster there is as good as gold sold. I mean, it's as good as gold sold. So I'm probably going to say 75 on that one. If you pass, that's okay. Metallica and Motley Crue, 100. I was at 75 and 75, right? 115 and they're yours, John LeBady. 115 and they're yours. I think I just came down way too much, but that's okay. Here's another Motley Crue, $75. Motley Crue, $75. These are incredible shape. And Jeff, Mark Moore says he'll take Van Halen if you don't want it. It's going to be sold to somebody. Where was it? That was Metallica. So the first one we can tag is Metallica. Those are both Slayers. I think it's this one then. Yep. Oh, what happened? Oh, there it is. All right. So those are two sold to John LeBeatty, Motley Crue, and Metallica there for $115. Van Halen's going to be sold to somebody, and then there's the other Motley Crue I just showed. Still got Bonham, the two Slayers, and Iron Maiden. These are pending. I'm going to lay them over here. Chad's about to sneeze. Journey, $35. There is some color breaks in it. Where it's black, it has a few color breaks. $35 on Journey. Poison, $75. Don't let these go to auction. Do not let these get advertised and go to auction is all I have to say. Score while it's hot tonight at 2 a.m. Do not let these get advertised and go to auction. Van Halen is sold to Mark Morris for $75. Will you be doing anything special this Friday morning store? Possibly. And then, yeah, tomorrow's a normal Friday night here, or Monday night at Coletco. It's a normal Friday night here at Coletco. It's a normal Monday night. Kiss night and regular auctions. Lily Tomlin. Gina Raven. Who is this? Gina Raven, maybe? Rosanna Diana. I'm not for sure on that one. Gilda Radner. That's who I was thinking of. Tesla. $55. Tesla, $55. Hey, these are premium posters that literally we get asked about every day. They're definitely not going to be giveaway. No, sir, Bob. This is like one of the most requested things we have here. And they usually, I hold them for auction. Y'all are getting them like, boy, I like his Batman shirt he's wearing. Dockin. $55 on Dockin. I did not price Gilda. Gilda, I'll do for $35. I'm not for sure if those are people claiming them or people helping me out. But $35 on Gilda. Okay. I see there's limited 45 limited edition, Trampled Underfoot. That is Record Store Day Black Friday. We do not get Record Store Day Black Friday stuff. $60 for Iron Maiden. This is sold to Mark Morris for $60. Iron Maiden sold to Mark Morris for $60. Gilda for $35. Metallica, the Black Album logo, but beautiful condition. $75. It's the Black Album logo, just black lettering, beautiful. Beautiful. Metallica. It's just the black logo behind a black background. So this week for new vinyl, there's really just about 7 new releases that I can get, that I'm going to get. The rest of it is for Record Store Day, and we do not deal with Record Store Day titles, unfortunately. Mostly because we're an online business. They've basically told us we sell way too more online, and we don't do enough brick and mortar, which is a bunch of nonsense, because we sell plenty. We sell just as much in our store as anybody else that participates on Record Store Day. Sale for sale, we probably sell in our store just as much as anybody, but because we sell 99% online, which they probably monitor that and see that we do, they don't let us have Record Store Day. But what they don't realize is after you leave Nashville and head east, we're the only record store. We're the only record store after you leave Nashville, a legit storefront, all the way till you get to Knoxville, like 250 miles. And so it's very unfair for us not to be on Record Store Day. But because we have such a huge online presence, and honestly, we probably sell more online than any other record store in America through these live streams, they don't let us do record, because they've basically said y'all are too big for Record Store Day, which is very unfair. They're basically holding a bias because we sell more than anybody else. So we can't get Record Store Day titles. Megadeth, $75. Megadeth, $75. I feel like I skipped one. Yep. Dio, $75. And I've already sold one Dio Black Sabbath tonight for $55, and I sold one for $60. So that one's in beautiful condition. Very unfair the way they treat us. Thought about contacting an attorney a couple times. I think there should be, we got some major bias. Some very unfair treatment. All right, we're mixing it up now. That was a lot of random bands. And I think randomness may continue, but first, some of these I don't really know what to price them. This is Kiss, and luckily we got all the information on these. This one is, hold on a second. I was changing cameras and I realized my GoPro's off. Oh, wait a minute. I got to click on it. Hold on a second. I think I got to click on it. Did I turn it off? Yeah, hold on one second. Now I turned it off. I can't toggle with my buttons. I got to... This is a Kiss 1975 Boutwell, 36 and 23 and a half. 36 by 23 and a half. And I've got 2 of those. I got another one too. Record Store Day Ops team. No, they probably watch this sale though. I've heard some of these people watch these sales because they're in amazement of how much we sell, and therefore they don't allow us to sell anything. So I don't get it. So there probably is somebody connected watching right now, but that's okay. It's not like we need it to survive. You don't really make any money off of it. I need to do it for y'all for like a benefit for customers. I'd like to have it so we could have a big in-store sale that day. People be lined up to get in the door, and we could have a big fun day here at the store. But they prevent us from doing that. They restrict us. So. Yeah, I don't get it. We've tried. We had a customer, or Tony, that works here for us now. He was so upset because a lot of people have to drive into Nashville that live here in Lebanon and Mount Juliet, and there's already plenty of people in Nashville trying to get Record Store Day stuff, and they was like, man, if you got it, all the Lebanon people and Mount Juliet could come to here. Platter pack, $14.99. This is a metal one. Platter pack, $14.99. There's a random platter pack. I saw it laying over there on the cart, and we hadn't tagged it yet. Yeah, pretty weird, But in some aspects in business, you get penalized for selling too much. And I guess that's the boat we're in. But financially, it's not like you're going to make a lot of money off of it. So for me, it's like, well, that's okay. But Kiss motorcycle poster, $125. Kiss motorcycle poster, $125. That's Kiss 79 motorcycle, a coin, 28 by 20. A coin, 28 by 20. Dang it. I can't talk. I got to click on it every time. I guess y'all can't see my sticky note. I had that writing on the sticky note. Chuck Haley gets the platter pack. Let me take that over there. Well, we blew through all the band posters. Unfortunately, I know some of y'all are going to be like, dang it. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to show 190 Kiss posters right now because most of these are supposed to be tagged and already photographed for auction anyway. But I'll show a few more what I think of some of the better ones. And if not, I got to start thinking about everything I got to do for tomorrow as the show comes to an end. But I have other stuff to show. What year were the Kiss Boutwell? They're both 1975. Yeah, they're both 1975. Okay. I'll see what's over here. I can kind of see inside of some of them. Tanner's got some of them labeled, but I mean, y'all gotta understand, I'm looking at like 100, between this and the crates, I'm looking at about 250 rolled Kiss posters over here. So it's really hard for me to figure it out. I mean, we got everything from the foils. It is a pretty difficult thing to figure out over here. Let me do something over here right quick that's not Kiss. Let me figure out which one this one is. And of course, I grab a Kiss poster. Let me see what some of these others are. Oh yeah, I remember this one. That's a heck of a poster there. Hold on one second. Let me get this roll back up. That one I wasn't supposed to unroll because it's so large. Same thing with this one. Yeah. Some of these are it's even hard to show them. That's why we try to get them photographed so we can put them on the screen. This is kind of useless trying to show them. They're so large. I'd rather show flat stuff. Yeah, we didn't even get to the stones. Let me show this stuff over here that's in this crate. I think this is some more random stuff. One second. Let me grab stuff over here. These little rolled ones. I'm kind of curious what they are. Whew, I'm losing brain momentum. Let me grab a couple of these. This is from that guy's collection. He had all kinds of stuff. but we hadn't got to it all yet. All right. So we got Dio and Tesla posters, 50. I think I said 75 and 55, right? Go ahead and sell those to Phil Elliott for 100. Dio and Tesla posters. Okay. There's Dio. Let me find Tesla. Metallica. Is this Tesla? That's Journey. That was Bonham. Was this Tesla? This looks like Megadeth or Tesla. This was Tesla. All right, so Dio and Tesla sold to Phil Elliott for 100. Still doing 24-hour show. I was thinking about doing that this weekend. So I can. I prepared the other night by doing a 10-hour show. You know, I did a 10-hour show trying to pace myself, see how that made me feel. And then I did a, tonight I started at 4. So how long have I been live? 6. So 4 to midnight is 8. So I've done 12 hours tonight, right? Yeah, I've done 12 hours tonight. So this is, no, I did take a break, but still the longest we've been live was tonight, ever. Let's see what these post. Could be really random stuff, and these are a lot cheaper. Oh, that's the Bob Dylan Milton Glasser poster. That was folded in a record insert. It's been rolled, but it's still got fold creases. Dylan, $35. Dylan, $35. That's the one that goes in the record. Somebody's rolled it, though. That's actually not bad of an idea. As in Boutwell Auditorium in Baum. No, that's a Kiss Boutwell. I think that's the brand that manufactured them. What is this? I was going to say, that's Vegas, isn't it? This is Vegas. That's the... Vegas is the... What? Vegas. This Las Vegas poster. 50 for Poison. Robin Glenn, 50 for Poison. Let me see. This is sold to Robin Glenn for $50. Sure thing. Thank you. Sell that to Robin Glenn for $50. Oh, is that what it is? Fremont Street? 6, 10, 2 a.m., 12 hours. No, is that 12? 10. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 12 would be 4 to 4, right? Yeah, 4 to 4. 4 to 4. So, yeah, we did about another 10-hour stream again tonight. You can tell because my brain's not working. Grateful Dead. Nice. Grateful Dead. I'm going to say $45. 1977. $45 on the Grateful Dead. Yeah, maybe that is Boutwell Auditorium. Is that who? Where's our Kiss people at? Is that what that means? Boutwell Auditorium? I thought maybe that was the. I thought that was maybe who made it, but I guess not. I guess that's Boutwell. I guess that's what that means. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. Oh. Boutwell's the publishing company. I don't know. Y'all have got me confused now. All right, let me go grab a few more over here. I like this guy's stuff. He's got a little bit of randomness all over the place. There's dozens of them over here too. There is dozens of them. It's real love. Real love. Boutwell was their marketing company, okay? I know a coin. A coin was their manager. And that's stamped. That's usually highly collectible stuff. Nice. A classic original Easy Rider poster. $35 for Easy Rider. $35 for Easy Rider. So to Chris Frazier. Yeah, I like this guy's stuff. And this stuff I don't have much money in. And I'm not too worried about. I mean, I could severely underprice something, but the Kiss stuff scares me because I know some of them every once in a while are like $500 or something. I'm cautious with Kiss stuff. Rolling Stones, 81. Rolling Stones American Tour presented by Joan. 35 on the Stones. A lot of my pricing depends on how much we paid for the collection. So if we get a really good deal on something and there's a lot of stuff, I'm more liable to hand out deals. But sometimes we buy somebody's high-end Kiss poster collection, and I know the kind of cost we have in them. And for us to have made money, we got to get top dollar for them. So I'm more hesitant about pricing. And then some stuff, it's like we bought literally a whole building full of stuff, and I've been selling it for 5 years, and now we're down to the last 100 posters. So whatever I can get out of them, I'm happy with. So I'm more careful with the Kiss stuff right now, but I'll eventually get to it all. This is literally a breakfast at the Roadkill Cafe. $15 on that. Breakfast at the Roadkill Cafe. And this is a mummy poster. $15 on the mummy. $15 on the mummy. Okay, let's go get some more out of there. We might can finish up. I mean, there's about 30 in this box, 20. I see some black lights. Those could be good. Let me grab 5 more. And plus, a lot of these we find out are signed. That's the other thing. It's like, oh, these are signed. About time for another monster. Not yet. No, it's about time for me to shoot the morning videos so I can go find something to eat and get ready for a full night tomorrow. This is signed by Eric Lindors. I don't know much about Eric. Is Eric a good hockey player? Eric Lindors, and he signed it. I called it. I just called autograph. Dude, you were getting so close for the ones I'm looking for. You're hoping that I have a poster, and that's not. You're hoping I have one. Man from Uncle. That's a VHS thing. Kiss Subway size. Yeah, we got some of those large ones over here. Yeah, for sure. I know over here we got the really good set is like $800. The foil, they're like silver transparent, and they're like, I mean, I think I priced them the other night for $750. I think that's the best set we have, and then the rest of them are probably between $50 and $250. But I've got that really good. They're like, you know, if you touch them, your fingerprints are going to get all over them. I've got those. They're over here somewhere. Yeah, I think that's my best. That's my best, and that's probably some of the most expensive Kiss posters that's out there. That's Leonard Skinner. We had that earlier framed. Yeah, we got a framed one of these over here. Leonard Skinner, $25. Leonard Skinner, $25. Boy, where's my chapstick at? I gotta go get my chapstick. My lips are burning. Nice. Hess trucks. Hess trucks. If I don't put a crease in it. Ah, there we go. And this one looks really fragile. Nice. Stoned again. Blacklight poster. $125. Stoned again. And this is a bonus piece that was wrapped around it. Stoned again. I don't know if that was like detached or what. Stoned again, blacklight. Give me 1 second. I wonder what they did with my coat. I hadn't seen my keys or my coat or my wallet in like since I've been live, so I don't know where they've moved all that the mess. There it is. I gotta get some chapstick. I've also had about 4 bottles of water and 2 energy drinks and a Diet Coke, and I haven't peed in about, well, I haven't peed in 12 hours. I mean, 10 hours. I keep saying 12. I haven't peed in 10 hours, and it's about to hit me. Sorry if that was too much information, but I didn't actually go pee when I braked earlier. So, and when I got started, I was like, dang it, why didn't I pee? Whew. I've probably had a gallon of fluids. Okay. Oh. So, let me see what here. Mylar. Yeah. Okay. Too much. Are you saying you think I've got it priced too much, or it's too more than you want to spend? Or both? Or both? Golly. Also, I like going through posters when about every one of them I'm showing I'm selling, like earlier. That's also when I like going through posters. That is OSHIT. Great American Historical Moments. Train derailment. That's based off a real photograph I've seen before. Stoned again. I now have access to eBay, so let me check. Let me check over here on that. Blacklight posters are another thing that can get pricey. I was pretty close, Adam. The first search results, I mean, I guessed, and it's at active, 164, 150, 150, 300. Active means nothing, though. I could list ours on there for $5,000. That doesn't mean anything. One sold for $85, free shipping. It is R. Crumb artwork. So what did you offer? 50. We're not too far apart. That one's in about the same shape, too. Mine's got some kind of little bonus thing. I don't think that was anything that was attached. So if I let's do times this minus postage. Actually, we're not too far off. I'll do it for $65 if you want it. I'll go by that comp. So what I did is I did 85 times what I think the fees would cost, and then some for postage, $65. And it's yours. $65 and it's yours. I got rubber bands all over the floor. Legends of Rock and Roll Fine Art Photographs. November 15th, 24, Wentworth Gallery. I know this band, Crocus. Crocus, $35. Crocus. This could be good. Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters promo. Nice. The Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters promo. Now, that's what the guy wrote on the back. I don't know if that's actually what it is. It just, to me, looks like an Allman Brothers poster. But he wrote Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters promo. But either way, I think a nice vintage Allman Brothers needs to be $45. So let's sell Stoned again. And make sure this thing here goes to it. That thing on top, that goes with it. So let's make sure when we wrap that, he gets that for $65. Okay? I really want to know you. I really want to show you the way I feel. I really want to know you. I haven't got to do much singing tonight. I haven't had time. I really want to know you. I really want to show you the way I feel. Gary Rafferty, by the way, folks. Jamaica Music Test. Jamaica Music Fest. B-52s, Grateful Dead, Beach Boys, Aretha Franklin, Rick James, The Clash. Jamaica World Music Festival. Where at? I guess all over the place. Rolling Stones 40 Licks. $15. Rolling Stones 40 Licks. That's more Vegas advertisements. Yeah, Fremont Street. More Vegas Fremont Streets. And the Inner Room Pilgrimage to the Holy Land with John Michael Talbot. And John Michael Talbot again. Okay. All right, there's that. All right, and then Vicky gets the Stones. Is this the Stones? Yeah. Vicky gets the Stones for $15. All right. That's so to Vicky. Here's something a little bit different. I've got 1, 2, 3. I'll do these for $15 a piece. Maybe. Here's a flashback. New Jersey Generals pennant. Kansas City Royals pennant. And the Philadelphia Stars pennant. Pennants. Right back, offline for 30 minutes, anything. We've been going through posters, mostly hard rock and metal bands, Kiss, and then miscellaneous posters. Probably not too much for your liking, Jason, but there has been some pretty cool randomness in here. I'm still finishing this box up. Cool poster here. It's of a guy who played a guitar in the 70s. This actually might be from the 70s. It says copyright 1971. If it is, it's a killer poster. $45. This guy goes by the name of Jimmy Page. And it does say not copyright 71 at the bottom. It does have pinholes. But Jimmy Page, $45. Yep. Printed in England. Jimmy Page, $45. So to Carly Southers. Then Jeff Brent. Still good posters to be had over here. I really want to know you. I really want to show you the way I feel. I really want to know you. Morticiary 50 years. Let's see what this is. Morticiary. Boy, I hate when people crinkle the end of poster tubes. But just go ahead and tell you something right now. If you crinkle the end of a poster tube, the chances of getting it out without dinging it are slim unless you cut off the end of the tube. So people that do this, it's like very tough. I usually just cut it off. No, no, no. That's Carly's poster. That's Carly's poster. More-ish. I said morticiary, but that's not morticiary. That's more. How do you say that? My brain's too dead to figure that one out. I sound like Beavis and Butthead. More something, man. Yeah, mortuary. No, man, more hereditary. No, man, it's something. Okay, what's over here? Let's see. Kiss, 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 kiss. Kiss, 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 kiss. Say it with me. Kiss, 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 kiss. Are these? And let me grab. I can't remember what I put down in here. These are these movies or? That's a reprint though, right? It's a reprint, but maybe we can get us some good stuff here for the final closing moments. This is a Moriarty. Yeah, that still don't sound right, but thank you. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is a 2006, 2005, so $15 on this. What will be left of them? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, $15. I'm going to touch my toes. Oh, wow. Hope y'all heard that. That's the sound of me getting old. I think I'm going to grab two more over here. So I wonder if Paul found out if that Skynyrd was authentic. He found a signed Skynyrd. Checked out this piece of rock memorabilia. He found a couple autographs today. I wonder if the Skynyrd was bad. Oh, it's bad. Okay. Yeah, now that I see it up close. Yeah, it's bad. He found a signed Skynyrd record, and I didn't get to see it. And well, I just found out it is bad because I saw it up front. Let me go over here to this cam. So check this out. Pantera Metal Magic, signed by Daryl Abbott. Diamond Dave, or Diamond Daryl. That is signed by Dimebag Diamond Daryl. It's also signed by Rex Rocker. And it's signed by Terry Glaze and Vince Abbott. Pantera Metal Magic, signed by the original lineup. Daryl Abbott, Terry Glaze, Vince Abbott, and Rex Rocker. That's real. This new order is real. And it's signed. And then these are fake. Elvis Costello is fake. And Leonard Skinner's fake. Now, obviously, if this was real, it'd be 15,000 or plus. And this would be pretty pricey, but it's bad too. So these are fake autographs. These are fake, but those back there are real. What a night that's been. Oh, what a night. Late September back in 63. It's been a very special part of me. Oh, what a night. Okay? The Jimmy Page poster says, Jimmy Page by LLPO Musto. Big O posters, printed in England. Jimmy Page by LLPO Musto. Big O posters, limited to 219. Eversley Road, London. SW115UY. 01-228-3392, printed in England. Big O Posters, Inc. P.O. Box 6816, Charlottesville, Virginia 229060, USA 804-295-0566. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. John LeBatis has had corn, so I'll make that the first thing tomorrow so that don't mess them up tonight on tag and miscellaneous stuff. That's so to John LeBatis. Whoops. Just had a crash. Let me add this over here. Great night, Chad. Took me 20 hours to travel home, just arrived. You used to made it so much better. Well, thanks. I wish I could go even later for y'all night owls that's watching, but my body and mind is saying I got to stop. I could. Now, bear in mind, if we had a second wave of buyers all of a sudden show up, and it was like it was at 7 o'clock, I could keep going. But when things start slowing down, my brain's like, oh, Chad, you need to stop. And what's even more amazing is there are 91 people still watching. So, because I think people's been so intrigued about what I'm bringing out tonight, nobody wants to go to bed and miss anything. And that's the truth. I've been intrigued in what I've brought out. Here's what I'm going to do in the next 12 hours. In the next 12 hours, I'm going to clean all this up and have as much of it up front and organized for them as possible. I'm going to film the videos that get posted at 6 and 9 a.m. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to go to sleep. And then I'm going to jump back over here. I'm going to jump over here with, back over here tonight at 5:30. Right now it's 2:36 in the morning. Well, 5:30 tonight, I'll be going live and we'll start a new week with vinyl. And hopefully I'm physically ready. And I need y'all physical and mentally ready as well. So, Kiss Motorcycle poster 75. What did I originally price that? John LeBatis, I'm going to put your name on this. So tomorrow we can start with that sale. I think I priced that one $125. Oh, by the way, Hatchet Ed is off this week, so if you're talking to somebody, it will be probably somebody else that works here. Hatchet Ed is a no-go this week. He's out of town with family. So, let me see here. Kiss motorcycle. I think I priced that one $125, right? Let's see here. That's the one with the Kiss logo at the bottom. Oh my gosh. Oh, Wolverine, don't forget 200 BGs. Yeah, I'll do that. Peter Chris JSA card I bought. Yeah, that's around here somewhere. So Jeff, what we, who was that, Jeff? Yeah, so what I hope to do is we're slowly boarding and bagging all of our autographs. And when we board and bag them, we match up the proper JSA cards. And then eventually we'll be left with strays. And then the strays we can match. None have sold. There's one active, 119 plus shipping. So I was pretty dang close on that at 125. Who offered that? That was Billy Wilson, 75. Have you bought from us before? The problem with rolled posters is we got to pay extra postage for the tube and shipping, especially if you buy records from us this week as well. If you just buy the poster, we'll probably come out pretty far ahead, or pretty even, I should say. But I'll do it for 95. 95. And I got so many more Kiss. I know some of y'all are looking for certain ones. I don't think y'all realize, though, for me to go for every one, Jeff, I know you're probably still watching. For me to go through every one of these posters trying to find one poster you're looking for, it could take me another 2 hours to go through the rest of this rack. And, yeah, it could take me another 2 hours. Easily. Billy Wilson. Have you bought from us before? If not, I need to make sure we get you registered before we sign off. Let me find the Kiss motorcycle. And since some of these are handy, I might show them again tomorrow. This is sold to Billy Wilson for $95. But it's very time consuming. Especially after as long as we've went tonight. Okay, so if you haven't bought from us, and this is for anybody else that may be watching tonight for the first time, just make sure you message our page. So if you're watching on Facebook, go to Messenger as soon as this is over and send us a message with your email address and mailing address. And when you're done with doing that, we'll invoice you on Monday, not tomorrow. So tonight started a new system of tonight started a new system, a new cycle of $8 in limited shipping. So the way we do this, we do 7 shows and then do $8 in limited shipping. So we don't send invoices again until next Monday. We're invoicing tomorrow, but that's everything that was purchased last week, and they're still keying stuff in. Actually, when April left here and my sister Jill, I think their stuff, Seth's going to be here at 5 a.m. to start working on the next batch. So, yeah, they're still keying in stuff over here from last week. So, that's what's on the agenda. Okay? You did get a Kiss pinball back glass. That is true. Don't worry, there's more Kiss cards. I have a lot of Kiss cards around here. You'd be surprised. The reason I've hesitated selling them is because it takes so long. I wanted to match up and do complete sets. And I still got the Kiss figures. I still got the Kiss bust and the Kiss figures, but there's a lot of cool stuff that some of y'all passed on that I think we still need to sell. I just hadn't found the right person for those busts or figures. If I could find somebody local who wants them, golly. Platter packs. Yeah, I think I finally sold them all. We're done. We're sold out of platter packs. All right. I'm signing off. Thank y'all. I've been standing here just staring into space. That's how zoned out my brain is after what we just accomplished tonight. Y'all are incredible customers. Thank you. I'm without speech. I can't wait to go. I've already posted pictures of what it looks like up front. I've already posted pictures of what it looks like up front on Facebook. After I get everything really condensed, especially after I sold that entire wall to Paul Brothers. Paul Brothers bought an entire wall of action figures. I'm going to take pictures of the store. It literally is empty. So that's amazing that we're able to go live here on Facebook and literally sell everything in our store because it's priced and ready to sell. We could sell more if we had more priced and more ready to sell, but that's where we hit a stumbling block when we run out of price stuff. So there's that. And we're signing off. Okay? Thank y'all and good night. Appreciate it as always so much. Thank y'all.